What is good? Welcome back to another episode of Late Night Live. We
Definitely.
got Brandon to
Hello,
my
world.
other side. We got 12. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? It's
Doing
a
good. Glad
Tuesday.
to be here, as always.
Definitely, man. How's the weather treating you over there?
Cold as a mother.
Same here. I need that snow to melt because I'm hitting ice banks every time I come out the driveway.
No. Shit. Man, that temperature gonna be low for a minute. We ain't gonna thaw out for a while.
Nah, it's melting. It's definitely melting.
It's melting, but I wait it out.
Not quick enough.
Agreed.
Now, where I'm at, I think I got somewhere close to 30 inches of snow. Because I live in Glastonbury. It's like where the Cove is. You know where the Weathersfield Cove is?
Yeah, next to Home Depot. Where Home Depot is.
We naturally get more snow because of the moisture.
Yeah.
And
the river. You got two rivers.
Right, but where the Cove is where the river actually used to run.
Okay.
And it changed. Plus, behind my house, there's additional like wetlands that's full of water that changed. Because you remember when the city flooded back in the 50s, downtown Hartford. I don't know if you remember that.
Nah, that's
well, you read about. Well, you wasn't alive, obviously, but I'm sure you read about it.
That's high as hell.
But the river had a different path. They had to reroute it because it flooded so bad. Because like if they have a very bad snowstorm up north, all that water comes down when it melts.
Yeah, that river go all the way up Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It starts way up in New Hampshire or Vermont, I want to say.
Yeah, it got like an Indian name, like I can't remember the name of it. Is a very Native American name. The name of the river.
But yeah. But I could tell in my neighborhood, like when I drive around, you can see the piles of snow. So just like Brandon said, you ripping your goddamn car up. Trying to cut a corner too close to the snowbank. But when I get back to my neighborhood, we still got like 20 inches. And it's been melting bit by bit. And you can see, like I'll be driving to some neighborhoods and you get to my neighborhood, I can see that the shit is still high, like really high.
Man, I don't know how long. We never know how long does it take for all this snow to melt. One of the kids asked me like, "Dad, how long do you think the snow will melt?"
Well, it depends on the weather. The last couple of snowstorms we had, it was more in the 40s, 50s, so it melted quick. But this time, it went in the teens.
Yes,
it was in the teens. Even when it was snowing, it was like 6 degrees, which isn't normal. But this was like a storm that came through. At least it wasn't a nor'easter.
Definitely.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Always could be worse.
Definitely. All right.
Well, you know what, though? We ain't get hit in a long time, so.
Nah, I can't complain about that.
Yeah, we
would do. We would do.
Let's see. Let's go. Let me see what's going on right here. What's going on in CT? Let me pull that up. That's something I wanted to see. Anything good in the news?
In CT?
Yeah. So I think this is Connecticut officially look at protecting kids and teens from harmful social media algorithms. This is like just a quick thing that's going on in Connecticut. Just some, what's going on with that stuff.
Good.
We've placed phones in kids' hands, tablets in kids' hands, and we haven't given them the guardrails they need to use them safely.
The future of social media in Connecticut could soon change. Governor Ned Lamont and Attorney General William Tong say they will propose a new law in this upcoming legislative session.
They say it could protect children from harmful and addictive algorithms. Fox 61's Stephen Reels has what we know so far and how parents are reacting.
This isn't the first time we've seen state lawmakers propose a restriction like this. A similar one passed the State House of Representatives last legislative session, but was never called on for a vote in the Senate. This new version would be similar to proposals we've seen in other states like New York, California, and Utah. And it would put new privacy settings for children's accounts and would restrict how long they use social media and when they would receive notifications so they don't get notifications overnight. A pop-up warning would also be added about the dangers of social media on mental health whenever a child opens an app. This would also require social media companies to report to the state how many minors are on their platform, how many of them have parental consent, how long they spend on the app, and it would be broken down by age and the time of day. I sat down with mother and educator Heather Moran, who runs.
So this was a quick preview. This is happening in Connecticut, where I think they're going to be proposing some kind of legislation to,
Yeah, I'm down.
You are?
I'm down for that.
Yo, same. I hate to say it, but same.
They need to take these damn tablets out these kids' hands and raise their kids.
Okay.
That's what's kind of happening. These parents are handing these kids these tablets, and like she said, no guardrails.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know what they're giving them, and we see, man, these kids today know everything because lack of parenting.
How about you, Brendan? I got a slightly different view, but how about you?
What I'll say is, I allow my children to use tablets, but I'm definitely, especially as of late, I'm like, and I got time limits on there. I got, hey, if you on Roblox, you're only gonna be X amount of time. It shuts off at a certain amount of time, but it still seems like the tablets themselves are an issue. That screen time is an issue. It has an effect on these kids. They're less, I don't know, man. It's like they just checked out. It's a dopamine. It's a dopamine injection when they on it, and they fiending like fiends when they not on it. So I'm definitely all for this if it's something that's gonna help these kids. I mean, yes, we can do our part as parents, but this is another step. I'm all for it.
Okay, I see that. Mine's I'm a little bit against it. I understand why they're doing it, but I'm a little bit against it. Because yes, I understand, like as a parent, I won't have it. I won't allow them to have it, but I think if they had better programs for the kids, because this is their future. We're basically living in what's going to be their past. So basically we're preparing them for a world they will never see. Because by the time they grow up, they're going to be on the back end of it. You know what I'm trying to say? Is like, you remember when you used to go to school and they're preparing you for billing. They ain't billing anymore. Billing is already expired. That's is like, you don't even see. I'm not picking on billing, but that's a great example of when you've grown up. You was like, you study for this. You did now billing. AI is doing billing, and I'm just kind of over speaking, but you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get it.
But where I'm coming from is you can't keep the kids away from the future, because these are the kids that are going to, they need to grow up and they need to be programmers, they need to be coders, they need to be this, right? So it's like, I think they should, as long as more STEM, where they're getting into STEM but yes, screen time. I'm not saying no to the screen time. I agree with the STEM, the screen time. But go ahead.
The one thing that they talked about was changing the algorithm. So what are they planning on putting in their own program that the kids should be paying attention to? Or they're saying that the algorithm is giving them garbage to consistently.
So let's use TikTok, for example. When TikTok was out there, what TikTok was doing is what the kids in China or wherever TikTok is from, they only get STEM content.
Yeah, I heard that.
They don't get the TikTok here where there's dancing and all of that stuff.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like my kids. It's like when I heard TikTok from my kids, they were all outside doing the dances and all of that. And I'm like, man, don't tell me nothing about TikTok. and they was out there busting it, like doing the dances, and I'm like, what is that? But if you go to TikTok, there is a tab called STEM. They have the same functionality. They could click that button and go learn about science, engineering, and all of that stuff. You know, so that's what drew me to TikTok, was the STEM portion of it. Yo, it got people on there right now that are teaching algebra, differential equation. You know, they're sitting there going through. You could talk to them live. You know, so I kind of like that feature. You know, but screen time, I do agree with you guys with the screen time. Screen time is a must depending on age, but I think how they going about it, I think might block a couple people from actually learning what they need to be learning. I think, like you brought up a good point. If they had a substitute of, I don't even know. I can't even call it, man. You know?
And bringing that STEM stuff you was just talking about, you piqued my interest right there. Like if my
is,
kid could get off that and go straight to this STEM stuff, hey.
Well, the earlier, the younger they are, the easier it is to do. But once they get a tip of that nectar, they're done. They're doing TikTok dances from they 2 years old.
Lord, and that's what I don't need.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got all of that for you explore. Let me pull it up.
All right, lights out. Yeah.
But on the phone it's slightly different. On the phone it's slightly different. But
yeah, I've heard them talk about that before.
Yeah, on the phone they got a STEM tab. You click on it and it's all educational stuff. All educational stuff.
I ain't gonna lie. If I had it on my phone, I'd explore. If my kids had access to it, I'd explore. But that right there, that's a tree I ain't trying to touch.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm already hit with too much Facebook and Instagram doom scrolling.
Definitely. Let's slide over here. I think one of the things they were talking about, and the next one they were talking about in Connecticut was the Connecticut House delegates split on funding bill to end partial shutdown. You guys got any on that?
I heard something about it, but I'm assuming they're trying to remove the stuff that's supposed to fund.
Yeah, so it says starts for the clock. Congress negotiate reform for U.S. immigration custom enforcement in less than 2 weeks. So the question I would say, I kind of touched this a little bit, and this is Connecticut. This is not the whole thing, but
hey, I can hear somebody talking.
I think that's Brandon Mike.
Yeah, look, I'm muting these damn kids.
He said, you heard what he said?
Yeah. Yeah, but what I was gonna say was, did anybody come in?
I could still hear something. Who's
No,
that?
No, I was checking to see if anybody come in.
You can hear that?
No.
Oh, we good.
Yeah, we good. But yeah, he good. What I was gonna say was, do you think the government should shut down over what transpired in Minneapolis?
Hell no.
I'm gonna say no.
There's so many other parts of government that still need to run. This is an issue with one area, but that don't mean the whole thing shut down.
We got 50 states, some territories, and all that. Nah, I don't think so.
All right. Well, hold it down. Let me pull up a video that best illustrates what's going on.
That's a fire in one part of the house. You can't burn the whole house down trying to save that.
No. Not when we got extinguishers to just fan it. Something.
Put it out, something, yeah. Close the door.
And we could still work in the house while we renovate that part.
Definitely.
So right now we're in renovation mode, but we got a shindig coming this weekend, so we need some cash because we got some delegates coming into town, so we're gonna party, have a good time.
All I know is this: if that man could get donors to give all that money for the damn ballroom in the White House, why you can't cover this? Just saying.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to pull up a video here. Give me 1 second.
Hey, yo, you see they got John Lemon, huh?
Yeah, they got him all right.
You see that? They found a way.
I don't know. He gonna be able to fight that off? Doing
course.
his job, First Amendment.
The thing is, he's independent, so they can't. He don't have somebody for them to go after, really. But I think they're gonna try to squash him a little bit, tarnish him. But he gonna bounce back.
Who's that?
Don Lemon.
See, they got him. Gotcha.
Don Lemon situation, man. Wow. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you my position on Don Lemon. I'm rooting for Don Lemon.
Yeah, me too.
I'm rooting for him, right? What he did is wrong, 100% wrong. You know what I'm trying to say? But at the end of the day, even though he did what he did wrong, I think I'm biased because I still like Don Lemon. That's my personal thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm biased. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for him.
But now they're trying to say he conspired too.
Yeah, he did. He did. All the stuff he did was he got it on tape.
Right. But they said he was part of the planning.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I agree.
Well, we talked about that.
Yeah.
But it's coming full circle though. They actually got him.
Yeah, he got a standing ovation at some award, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they arrested him. He went to jail. They bailed him out.
I don't think nothing gonna happen. He's gonna get dissolved eventually.
Nah, he gonna pay some cash, and you know what I'm saying, he gonna be on his way. They gonna stick him up for some cash in that sense. They gonna make him go through the legal troubles, blah blah blah. He paid the lawyers, they make a little money off it, and he be on his way.
At least they ain't try to deport him.
They gonna deport him.
You know
what's up, Dre? What's going on?
What's good, brother? How y'all doing? I'm sorry for
Dre, what's up?
Good, right on time.
That's why we got this segment. We talk and we just ease our way in, and before we roll into everything, we were going to hop into this one right here, a clear breakdown of what's going on. So we watch this video, react to it on the other side.
Okay.
New tonight, Minneapolis police are stepping in after a community created their own method of public safety against ICE.
The flames burn as people stand guard.
We are literally creating a place that we know who's coming and going in and out of our neighborhoods.
Wait, isn't that what immigration is? Building a wall, checking papers at the entrance to make sure people inside are along there. Huh. That sounds familiar.
Were you guys able to hear that one?
Yeah, I can hear him enough.
Very vaguely.
Let me see if I can turn it. Let me just see if I can turn it up again.
It was it sound like they're checking for freedom papers.
So it's a neighborhood in Minneapolis where they created a barricade to basically know who is coming in. So every car that comes in, they basically did that around probably the perimeter, and they're checking people as they enter in. Mm-hmm. And the guy on the last part was like, isn't that the same thing as ICE or customs, where there's people at entry points checking papers to see who lives there? So that was a concept. So they're basically recreating the concept of custom.
Are they patrolling their own neighborhood type of
thing?
Thing?
Exactly.
Are they pro-ICE though?
I think they're no, they're against ICE.
They're against ICE, but they're doing the same type.
Exactly. That's what the video is. So they're doing the same thing, you know. So thoughts.
What's the legalities of this? Was it legal to do something like that?
Nah, the cops came
Sound
through
like
and
some
broke it
scary
down.
shit.
Huh?
The
It
cops came
sound like
through and broke it down.
Oh, they broke it down?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they broke it down and nobody got arrested, then that's a plus. I mean,
True.
only certain people can do that.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just
I know
wondering
you
what
can't
happens if I don't show my papers trying to get into the neighborhood. What you gonna do?
kick you out.
You gonna kick me out? You gonna put hands on me? You know, it could tumble downhill. You know what I mean?
so. They was kind of there to alert ICE,
Oh, never mind. Y'all gonna tell the people.
right?
Even worse.
Yeah, to alert them like, hey, ICE is here.
Hell no.
New tonight.
Let's see. Yeah, they were blocking. They got like fire pits and stuff like that in the middle of the street. See?
That's taking away somebody's freedom of going anywhere they want to go. You know, if we got a delivery or somebody you know live there, like that's none of their business. You don't have to disclose any of that for being there. I don't know. Like somebody said earlier, it can go tumbling downhill real quick with the right person.
Yeah, it can. It can. So the cops had to go in there. They had to go in there and dismantle it. But it's weird how, like they said, it's anti-ice becoming ice, and that's a great caption. Anti-ice becoming ice, and people don't see that, until something happens, you start to react the same way. You need to protect your community.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, you have to organize it with the police and make sure it's legal first. If you're going to organize something like that and it's not legal, it's just breaking the law. They're a bunch of criminals, pretty much. But it depends who do it. It's in America, it depends who do it. Some people get a slap on the hand. Other people,
Ain't that the truth?
yeah, it's America, so it depends on who's really doing it, and they get their consequence.
Okay. Last one before we get started. This one is the Trump signed bill to end partial government shutdown. Hold on, let me see if this one is the recent one. Yeah, this is the recent one. Shutdown setting stage for next fight. Because all of this is occurring because let me go around. I'm gonna ask this question slightly different. I just go one by one. Would you be in support where these people are voting? Well, we know Connecticut. Well, and Connecticut is split, but what they're going to weigh in this upcoming one is the Democrats are going to put up a fight for ICE and less ICE and all of that stuff. Is that something that you would put up for the shutdown of the government? Is that enough to shut down the government? Is a better question.
Nope.
Let's go with you, Brandon. What do you think? Is that enough to shut down the government?
It's not enough. It's a big ticket issue. I get it. It's just not enough to shut everything down. Like it's OD for that to be the one thing. Like, you know what? Nah, let's put everything on hold. DCAT, I see you. Welcome back. But no, it's just that's too much. It just don't make sense. It's putting something small over everything else. It don't make sense. That's not what this country's about.
Nice. How about you, P?
So is it more about money, the amount of money they want? Are we talking?
Well, they're going to frame it in a way to cut down on ICE in their communities, in their prospective communities.
Right, because this is funding. This is going to be like pretty much a bill to fund ICE, right?
Yes.
Right. So, that's not enough to shut the country down. I don't think so.
How about you, Drake?
I'm gonna look at it like this perspective. Who really suffers when the government shut down? So I don't think it's enough because not the rich don't or the well off don't really suffer when the government shut down. It doesn't really matter to them. Only the people at the bottom suffers really. So to starve the people at the bottom, to shut it down for whatever reason, I don't think it's enough.
Okay, so the question I'm going to ask next, right? I'm going to pose this question. Do anyone remember what was the last shutdown about?
I don't remember. I just know who suffered.
Good question, right? What was the last shutdown over?
I have no clue.
It was
Was it the snap?
Yeah,
I know Snap got
Yep.
shut down, but we don't know. I don't know why it was shut. Why the government was shut down.
Okay, cool. P, you remember before I give the answer?
I didn't even know.
So it was they shut down the government over SNAP aid to migrant to mainly. Well, all right. I don't want to paint it like that. Let me pull it back up. It was over SNAP and the recipients of SNAP. And when they looked into it, I don't want to sound like I'm on either side. I'm trying to be down the middle, right? Is majority of people on SNAP benefit was majority immigrants. So we're paying taxes and insurance, and it's going into SNAP, and SNAP is mainly going to immigrants. So, and that was the big component of it, and they didn't want to write the immigrants out of the bill. And I thought about that. I was like, how do you feel if someone telling me that my kids or my community can't get it, but if I'm an immigrant, I could get it?
Yeah.
But let me put it on the flip side. What my father told me. My father looked at me and said, Winston, says somebody has to take care of the poor. You can't always, and he said you can't always go through life and be like, oh, let those people fend for themselves. That's not what I'm saying. He just said, hey, somebody has to take care of the poor. You just can't always look at it as a rose glass or whatever glass you call. And he said they could fend for themselves. So it's like somebody got to be out there to help the poor. So.
Well, I don't consider the immigrants to be poor.
Okay,
nice. It's like, okay, let's be realistic. If you're going to invest in the country's future, immigrants are a part of the country's future. It's what America's built on. So if immigrants come here, you don't give them a chance to succeed, they're going to be homeless like the ones we see walking around. But if you believe that they're going to make something of themselves, you got to give them a head start or help, at least. I think it should be more about maybe less funding, not as much. But either way, it's something that has to be done.
Okay.
Because remember we talked about the whole government bringing these people into the country?
Yep.
So if you invite me in and then threw me on the street, what do you think I'm going to say about you when I talk to your mother?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
No, you go. Go ahead.
No, because I was going to say that when you brought up that point, and we're talking about a conversation we had about a year ago, and we were saying, hey, people was saying that these people can't be illegal if the government are bringing them here.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of those things the government were bringing them and hiding their hand. So you had a mixed feelings. Like it got to be a good point where if the government are bringing them, they got to have some kind of status. You get what I'm saying? But that was the whole thing where they were bringing them and disguising them in with regular people, not in their neighborhoods, but disguising them in certain cities.
Yeah. Not in their neighborhoods is the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's crazy too? Like when I worked for Amazon and I was delivering, there are like little cities in the middle of nowhere. Like you will come into like these big apartment complexes. I don't know, like a little mini city. And you'd be like, where did this come from? It just popped. And they put these people in places like this away from everything else. And you don't even know it's there half the time. And they do that a lot more often than we think. Every time they get in a conflict with another country, the people that they end up having to pull them out end up somewhere in America in a new community.
Yeah.
But they politic amongst themselves, so it's not like they come here, they don't got nobody. They group up together like
Well, that's what happens too, because they put them all in like one little community together.
Yeah, so but then they prosper by themselves and with their families or whatever that's already here. Because they're just like any, like the Jewish community or Hispanic community, Polish community, they spend their money within.
Yeah.
Yep. It stays.
So to add to that, I've definitely seen they create programs for them. They create programs for them. So they add it into the state budget where they have funding. So once these people come over, Connecticut have different resources. They don't have to be high resources, like low resources, where they pay these people to help support these community. So they're getting money. They get paid to help them, and that money, they got money coming in and flowing to help them. I'm like, wow, that's So when you're in America, you got to ask yourself a question: is America rich or is America poor? And nobody could tell me if America is poor.
No, it's rich. It's just they spend the money the way they want to spend the money, and it stems back from slavery. Like, it's been messed up. It's always going to be messed up. Somebody's always going to get the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's our community always get the short end of the stick, regardless. If we vote or not. Like, I know people say, go out and vote. But I have to sit back and ask myself, is there really power in voting? Like, really? Like, you know what I mean? Or is all this set up to be the way it is, or predestined for everybody to be in positions, or you can pay to be in positions? I'm not sure. These are my questions. I think with myself. So, because you hear the conspiracy theorists about the presidents are chosen, blah, blah, blah. This person's chosen. All of that's all preset. So I'm not sure. I just know that we always get the short end of the stick, regardless of which way it swings. So I mean, I see in my community here in New Britain, the Middle Eastern people, they're prospering. They're buying up. If a mini plaza shut down, they buy the whole plaza. Something shut down, they buy it. I ain't got no problem with it, but
you know what's crazy about that? A lot of times they get help.
They get help.
They getting help from the government sometimes too.
Yeah,
exactly.
Either that or
we don't get that.
No, we don't get that at all. We don't get that at all.
So I'm gonna push back a little bit. I understand what we're saying, right? And everything that we're saying is valid. Do we put ourselves in the right position to win? That's the question.
And to that, I would say no, we don't.
We don't.
Sometimes it's all about who you know.
Right.
It could be. But look, I'm going to give you an example, right? Luke Bronin chose Arunan Arulampalam as supposed to be the next person. Like, all right, he's the next one. Let's make him mayor. Had no experience, nothing. We had a whole black candidate who was qualified. Everybody should have jumped behind him. But what did everybody do? They voted according to the party lines, and they let this dude in. When you could have had somebody who actually would have made a change for people that look like us, had Hartford looking whole different. But we set ourselves up the wrong way. People didn't come out and say, you know what, I don't know this dude. They voted according to party lines, and now the city just screwed.
So I agree with that. So one of the things that I'm learning now is politics plays a lot. And we like, you see how we're talking about the major issues right here is voting does matter.
Yeah.
Right. But we don't put ourselves in the right position. And like, you see how that young man was there. It's like this. Yes, he had the credentials, but was he known? You know what I'm trying to say? And these are all the same things. It's just kind of having the right backing. More people going out to the polls, voting and electing the right people. Because let's go back to Minneapolis. How did they vote in like this? Good example. I had to do a research where in Minneapolis, Somalian population is only 10% of the population. And how 10% of the population, the whole city is bowing to Somalian community. How is that?
Because
these people
the Somalians stuck together and voted for the people, and we didn't come out and vote at all. just like here in New Britain, here in this city, the what's the mayor? What's her name? Erin Stewart. She ran
Yep.
for what 10, 12 years, whatever. She had a long stretch, and I ran into somebody that politicians gave him money to get people like me and you to come out and vote, and he broke it down to me like he said she keeps winning because out of so many thousand people here in New Britain, the 3,000 people that come out and vote look like her, and those 3,000 people get her in, and the rest of the 10,000 or whatever don't come out and vote at all. And that's how she got a long run, and it kind of made
her
sense to
father
me.
was mayor though. Her father was
her father
was there, so she had the pull. But I've definitely seen her on the stomping ground. She don't come over on this side of town.
Yeah.
But on the I seen her on the opposite side on my other house across there. I seen her over there. She comes out, knocks on the door. I was like, that's two things that I see. I see the difference in how they do in different communities.
Yeah.
So on this side of town, Drake, this is a good side of town.
It is.
On the opposite side of town is more a little rough area, and you see who comes out to which area, because I see most of the aldermen and all of those, they come out on this side of town.
Yeah. They come on this side of town for sure.
Right, but on the opposite side of town, you don't see them. But you would see the bigger parties.
Yeah,
like Erin Stewart and all of the bigger people that's running for office. They would hit the harder areas.
Yeah,
because I think they're comfortable with this side of town and they know how certain people are going to vote.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they are like I would go to like some of the events like they hold downtown or in the parks. They would be there. And they're out in the community. It's just a simple fact that the same people went out and voted for her for many years in a row, and nobody here. It was thousands of people. I think she only won with 3,000 to 5,000 votes, and there's 20,000 to 30,000 people here in New Britain. And that's all it took for her to win, 3,000 to 5,000 votes, because those same people came out and voted for her, and nobody else came out and voted at all. Or we had so many candidates that represent different communities that this community voted for this person. It was all split. Yeah. Nothing really came together to come against her party.
The thing is, man, we gotta let these young kids today know that if you want to make change in your neighborhood, you gotta.
That's our future. Yeah.
You gotta vote in your district. Your district is where your vote's more important.
Oh, yeah.
That actually changed numbers in your digit.
Yeah. It's the local election, not the big election.
A lot of them only vote in the federal election.
Yeah, the presidency.
That stuff in your district is where you got to be voting.
That's
them the ones that's messing up your taxes and why your mill rate's so high,
and water rate, light bill, all of that stuff.
Exactly. That ain't got nothing to do with that presidente.
But look, we still in the same boat. Got a state senator. He coming up for election right now. He done screw with all the people money. But them old heads might end up still voting along the party lines and putting in somebody who ain't good for the community. It don't happen, but we gonna see.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's all about education, educating our people on all this stuff. Like, I came up in the era where I first time I ever voted was just because the president was black. I had no clue what he stood for. And so he got in office and started swinging the other way, like, like, hold on. Like, but it was pure it was lack of education on my part, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we were trained in middle school, I think in middle school Clinton was in office, so I think our parents and stuff like that, it was all Democrat. We not having a clue about who stood for what.
Yeah.
So, growing up in that era where everybody was singing, oh, because you're black, Democrat, you're black, or you're minority, vote Democrat. And that was the thing to be, because every black person or any black person on TV had to do with it was Democrat. You may see a black Republican once every now and then, but I had no clue. I had no education on what they really stood for.
So are you saying you regret your vote for Obama?
Huh?
Are you saying you regret your vote for Obama?
I did vote for Obama.
No. Do you regret it though?
Yeah.
Do I regret it? No, I don't regret it because that was the first time actually just getting on and voting. Period.
I'm just making sure you feel me.
Yeah, no, but some of his decisions I don't swing that way, so I don't agree. And yeah, so it's just and then but like I said, lack of understanding had me voting for this man, and I had no clue what he was about.
Yeah. Yeah, he
and
came out.
I think a lot of people fell into that
we had
too
a
as well.
three-party one time.
Yeah. I mean, we as a people, all we saw the first black president. That's what they were pushing. So we was like, we was with it.
2028, come back, my boy.
Yeah, we need a third party, man.
Huh?
It ain't gonna do anything.
They got to get a third party to start running again. It used to be 3-4 parties. You know,
yeah,
back in the day. At least in my lifetime, I saw 3 parties.
Yeah.
Independent was the other one, right?
Yeah, but them people vote killers, man. You be having somebody close to getting the next thing you know, oh man, there's 1,000 people voted for Ralph Nader. Like, whoa, buddy, you put me over.
Yeah, but it's still messed up.
Kanye West got 10,000 votes.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's all messed up because electro votes. That type of system is like, that's crazy. Once I got to understand, I was like, hold on, electro votes, what's that about? Like somebody can actually win vote by vote and still lose.
Yep.
That's crazy to me.
I don't think a lot of people know either that the Republican Party is what ended slavery.
Yeah, and that's what I'm finding out now. Like I'm saying, like we have all this information.
People don't know that, man. Y'all need to go read them Abraham Lincoln books, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
So I mean, right now I do a little research before I vote. Sometimes I'm so busy I can't vote. But I'm gonna try to I try to set example before I say anything. I don't if I don't tell my kids if I'm not voting, I'm not gonna be like, yo, yeah, I gotta get them a vote. Man, I voted I'm gonna be honest, 2-3 times in my whole life. So I'm not gonna push it on them, and I'm not a big fan of it. I will push what I live and what I stand on, and that's his word, and that's it.
And I appreciate your honesty.
So what I'm gonna do, right? I know this late night line. So what I'll do is I'll probably keep this segment in here as time goes on, where we could kind of rethink this, because that's the whole thing. We don't set ourselves up to win. You know what I'm saying? We don't put ourselves. It's like these. Every community that they vote someone in, they get it's not kickbacks or paybacks. It's like they're voting that person in to do something for their community.
Yeah,
we're the only demographics that don't get anything for our votes in that sense. You know what I'm saying? If we vote somebody in, we want them to, hey, fix the roads, build the parks. It's like I heard them always say, black people vote, but they don't get anything from. I'm like, what does that mean? I always used to hear that saying. You know what I'm saying? I used to, but yeah. But I think this was a good discussion, man. How y'all like this little segment before I move on?
Oh man, this opened up a whole bunch of categories to be talked
Black
about.
people supposed to fall in line. That's what they're trying to tell us.
Yeah.
Every other nationality gets talked about in the bill somewhere, up, down, 2%, whatever. When it comes to black people, they're supposed to fall in line and don't ask no questions.
Don't ask no questions. Yeah.
True. All right, so let's start with the first one. Let's roll into it.
Yes, sir.
Who wants to know? This is the time my husband admitted me to the mental hospital because of a fucking doctor. I made a joke. I thought I was gonna be funny. So I got a new OBGYN, and he was new, so I wanted to break the ice and shit. So I decided, when he came in, he was like, hi, my name is so-and-so, Miss Rodriguez. How are we doing today? And I was like, well, it's a little fishy down there. I don't know, maybe I have a yeast infection or UTI or something. He's like, okay, we can check it out. Nurse already knows me. Nurse knows that I already be pranking and doing stuff like go ooh or something like that, you know. So he's about to go look in, and I was like, brace yourself, you know. It might be very fishy in there. So he goes, nothing I can't handle, Miss Rodriguez. He pulls up the thing, and he just like goes, what the fuck? And then looks at me. He says, get out. Seriously, no, I'm not dealing with this. And the nurse starts fucking cackling and saying, bitch, you went too far. This and listen, we known each other for a while, so I'm like, it's just a joke. I'm sorry, come back. Wait, I need my pap test. Because I get it every year. So what happened was, and then I had said, wait, and then I said, shut the fuck up, bitch, shut the fuck up. And then I had told him, you found Nemo. So I had gotten a Nemo toy about like this little, right? And I glued a little clippy thingy, like a little hair clippy, and I had clipped it to like my little landing strip of hair that I had. So it was like this, like
Nasty bitch. Sweet Jesus.
So she was admitted to a mental place or facility for pulling this joke. Is this something? Is this normal?
Was the Dr. Dory? He got kind of mad.
I guess not. He kicked out.
I mean, he forgot. You know what I'm saying? You know, Dory had a little memory issue.
If she doing some stuff like that, she need the help. She needed every second of those 72 hours. Get that evaluation. Why did you think this was okay?
Now, that's inappropriate, but I don't think it's mental worthy.
She glued something to her hoo-ha and thought it was funny.
Nemo. Glued Nemo to her kitty.
Glued Nemo down there, had man face first in there. That's mental.
Nemo probably told Dory, yo, don't touch me, man. Back up.
I wouldn't want to touch that.
But now as I think more about it, I can understand where the doctor's coming from.
Yeah, the doctor, he did what he's supposed to do. Like, that's totally inappropriate.
Yes.
But as far as to be admitted into a mental institute, I don't know. She lost a doctor, but I don't think she did something that's mentally insane.
P, that is.
She glued something to her vagina.
So what?
That's not normal.
As a prank for her doctor.
I know.
You don't know the doctor. It's like that's not like your significant other or someone close to you.
I know that. Like I said, it's very inappropriate. However, I'm not sure if I could be wrong.
She wasted time. She wasted the copay. Probably got her little nurse friend fired because you out here laughing and cackling.
Okay, so hold on. According to the way she described this conversation, the nurse knew about the shit, right? She knew about it, at least allegedly.
To a certain degree. She didn't know she had.
I don't know if she knew if it was that extreme, but she knows she likes to play pranks. So it seemed like the nurse was okay with it.
Nurse should have been fired. That's a conflict of interest. You know this lady 20 years and you over here on this doctor service when you know this chick about to do something weird. Hell
What
no.
if the nurse the one that glued it on for her?
Then fire her, and I hope she had the 72-hour hold too. Y'all can be there together. Stop playing with me. Nasty. Wait, you said if the nurse did it, why is she over here touching hoo-ha's?
Well, it's the hoo-ha office.
Listen,
that's what they doing there.
She was kind of around. Comfortable with that on that rainbow thing. That's her business, but bun her.
Any thoughts on this one, Dre?
I mean, if her husband knew her or knows her, he knows she pranks a lot. I don't know why he would throw her in the mental hospital, but if he knows his wife, obviously don't.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
I don't think he do. Yeah, I don't think he did. I don't think he married her knowing she would take something too far. I mean, that's something was probably obvious from the gets that he missed. I don't know. If I knew her personally, that was probably somebody I would get along with. Because if she's pranking jokes, I prank jokes back. You know, it's nothing. You know, she could be a good friend. I got
so many questions.
Huh?
Yeah, there's some questions there, man.
Yeah, there's some questions. Some questions. But you know, from the surface where we're only seeing it.
Like I'm wondering, is this the only altercation that gets her in a mental asylum? Like, was this like a third or fourth thing that happened?
Yeah, it's just something she does on a regular, or I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she does just be the one thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Now, what did the doctor like press charges or anything against her?
Yeah, he was obviously offended.
The video, it's a longer video. I think it's about 7 minutes.
Maybe that could lead to that, where he had to press charges because that's a serious situation. That's a malpractice type thing. You know what I'm saying? So he probably had to report it.
Yeah.
And by him reporting it, that probably got the police involved, which got and said, hey, maybe she took a little something before she went up in there. And they try to say, hey, I was on this. But maybe that's what happened. The league got in the legal stuff.
Or she was facing jail time and she had to go to the mental
hospital
instead of jail.
Exactly. He was like, yo, either you go do this mental thing and get off, or you go to jail for 150 days or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she probably chose that.
Yeah.
I think it's more to this story.
Yeah.
I think, well, I could agree and see y'all guys' point, but I would say you have to be a little bit deranged to concoct something like that for your doctor.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's like me getting all dressed up to go to get checked up. We were talking about the colon cancer test. That's like me, you know what I'm saying? Putting on something weird.
Whoa, you going down? Don't go down the rabbit hole, brother.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
I get it.
You won't think about something like that for a colon test. You know what I'm saying? So why could a female do something like that?
Because your doctor won't punch you in your face. But you do something like that during the colon test, bruh, you get knocked out.
So you see, that's and that's a double standard because he ain't punched her. He just said get out.
I'm pretty sure she lost that doctor.
Yeah,
I hope she did.
And that was her first time she was meeting with him.
Yeah, and a guy at that too, and she had a story for it. So he was probably serious, and she talking about it smelling fishy because she put Nemo down there. What if he didn't even know the movie? That would have ruined the joke even more.
He knew. Nemo was probably his favorite movie. That's why she probably used Nemo.
I was gonna say a joke, but I had to. I'm gonna say the damn joke anyway. That's why they couldn't find Nemo.
What if that Nemo was maybe on his desk or something at one point?
Even worse, throw it in the garbage.
All right.
Now
we're gonna transition to the next one.
Wait. Before we move on, hey D-Cat, Obama was doing his job. How we know them people that got deported wasn't these same murderers and rapists and whatnot? We don't know. He was doing his job.
Yeah, let me pull that one up. So I could agree with this one right here. Where they're doing the same thing. They got Tom Homan. Tom Homan been Tom Homan been the last 6 presidents, the same person that came up with the same process. He said the process hasn't changed. Biden gave him an award. for doing a good job. So it's the same person, Tom Holman. He said he worked for the last 6 administration. They haven't had anybody different. So he's been running it for the last 30, 40
So why
years.
the numbers change so much?
Huh?
Why the numbers change so much under Obama?
Because it's all the Obama. Some of the numbers I know they were kicking people out. P. They were kicking people out.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, they were kicking people out. Remember, I told you B was on the list. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. He was on the list.
We was there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we know, we personally know the situation.
And my other cousin got deported.
That's when all of them started going. They all were getting deported.
Yeah,
so it's not like we're not new to. We know we got families that got deported.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what they were in that number, what I found out a week ago was they were counting the catch and release. So the process prior to the immigration status where people were coming in was, in order to get asylum, you had to apply from outside of the country. And I think they changed the process where once you enter the border, you could seek for asylum. I got it wrong a little bit. I don't have that exact note right, but you could come into the country, say you're in fear for your life, and they will place you. But once they place you, they had to take care of you. Prior to that, it was on the outside. If you come to like the Mexico border, they wouldn't let you in. You could file, but you wouldn't stay. So most people wouldn't stay because they weren't in the U.S. That's what changed. It was people were able to come into the country and they get a court date, then they show up to court. But most of them never showed up. So when Trump came into office, he changed that part where you could seek for asylum, but you're not coming in the country. So guess what? You got to basically stay outside of the U.S. and wait for your court date. You're not going to stay in a country that, is not your final destination. So most people go back home. So those are some factors. It's not all, but some of the factors. But let's roll into the next one. But good point, though. Good point.
About this for months because legally I couldn't speak out and say anything, but since I quit, I'm about to give y'all the real. CPS is exactly what we think it is. I also have my own theories about this whole foster care CPS shit, but I'm scared to even speak on that. Growing up, you would always hear people say CPS ain't shit, or they would be talking about CPS in movies like CPS is just the worst. When I tell y'all, they were not lying. They were not lying. Now, I can't speak for every state. I can only speak for the state I worked in. I really don't even know where to start. But I started working for CPS, and I'm so excited. I've never been this excited for a job before. Like, when I got the email that I had an interview, whatever, when I got the email that I got the job, I was crying. Like, I really felt like, I'm going to be able to make a difference because me and my siblings were physically and verbally abused. So to me, it just meant something to me to be able to be put in a position where I could help kids, families, whatever. But after a while of working with them, it didn't feel good to me. It didn't sit right with me. It felt more so like, fuck the kids, guys. Let's meet these deadlines. That's just what it felt like to me. So I'm going to give y'all one incident that really was like, made me realize. So I had a 15-year-old on my caseload, and she ended up getting caught doing something, and she got in trouble by her caregiver. She asked her caregiver to call me. So she called me, she's telling me whatever, and in the conversation she says, like, she alludes to the fact that she's going to self-harm. Okay, so at that point, now you got to go to a mental facility because you're threatening. Yeah. So she ends up going to the facility, and then I'm planning out my next week or whatever, and I'm telling my supervisor, like, I gotta do this, I gotta go visit my girl in the facility. And she's like, visit her for what? And I was like, because she was placed there and I need to talk to her, see her, make sure she's good, explain to her why she's here. If she doesn't have, I need to see her. What are you talking about? And she was like, oh no, we have documents to upload. We have documents to do. We have this and this and this to do. Mind you, she was there for a week. So At any point, I could have took 2 hours out of my whatever I had to do to go see her, talk to her, and make sure she was good. She was like, no, you spent a lot of time on that case already. Let's work on something else.
So CPS, right? CPS. In this situation, do you agree with her statements or no? Anybody opposed?
I mean, she took a bad example because I could agree with her boss. Boss is like, yo, it's tough love. You know what I'm saying? She gonna let her think about what she's doing. Now, she's in too deep, obviously. Is she just doing her job? Is that part of her job to visit the girl, or do they just collect notes from her doctors?
Well, they're supposed to visit. I add a little bit of context because you notice I'm giving more context with the videos instead of the shorter ones. She was going to explain right after that that's part. Sometimes they got to go visit them, like they do welfare checks and all of that. So that is in their job to go.
Even when they're in the care of doctors?
Well, I guess.
Yeah. Like in Connecticut, DCF worker need to see a kid at least once a month. If they in
that's your specialty.
some kind of treatment or something like that.
You explained it. That's his specialty.
Former specialty. Former.
Yeah. That's like I said. Go ahead, explain it, man. My bad.
So in Connecticut, the workers do have to see a kid once a month, and I was working in therapeutic foster care, so those messed up kids. But the norm is once a month. So even if the kid is in some kind of treatment off wherever, if that's during the month, that's when they see him. That's hey, how you doing? But I have seen many workers who have visited a kid more than once, depending on what happened. It could be an emergency situation. They're in the hospital, they're in the ER for whatever. It could be self-harm. It could be whatever. Mm-hmm. They'll go to see him. And, you appreciate those kind of workers. This woman, very involved. I respect it. But that also leads to significant burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She getting in too deep.
She is. And I understand you care. She care, but you ain't there no more.
I agree with her supervisor on this one, like, because she's trying to help her out. Like, yo, don't get in too deep,
Okay. I can see your position. I can see your position too. I wasn't too sure about both sides, but I could see the conflict in these. You see it a lot in younger workers, where when you're younger, you think you're going to go save the world, and you get out there and you're just like, okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing? You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're young, you're so ambitious and you got large goals, and then when you get there, they just crush your dreams, man. They just kind of, I don't go like that. You go over there in that corner and just filing papers.
Did they tell you never meet your hero?
I mean, the whole business, it's an ugly one. You're dealing with kids that are displaced from their families. They get put with other people who care, some people who don't. And those interactions can only make a kid spiral downhill.
Mm-hmm.
I've only had a few successes when I was doing that. And it's sad, but that is the nature of the business.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say are some of the things that would make the process better in your instance?
I mean, it's a lot of things. It could be little things that can become big things. A prime example, you getting removed from your parents' house, like, you shouldn't have to carry all your stuff in a black garbage bag. And that was the norm for a lot of kids. And I know there's some programs that actually was like donating luggage so that these kids will have some kind of dignity when they leave it. But a lot of the time, bro, it's that black trash bag you see in the movies. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You feel worthless holding your stuff to a stranger's house. All right, boom, I'm your problem now.
Okay. P, what's your thoughts on this?
I have dealt with kids or taking kids out of DCF custody. Family members though. So I feel for the strangers. I know what the family members went through. Um, I would say on her behalf, there should be more workers that care. Granted, those who do care are blessings. Um, those that don't care, you see how a lot of things that are not or making the kids spiral, they're just speeding the process up. And the process of the kids spiraling out of control, and then the kids being medicated and put into these different facilities. Now they're just medicated. They're zombies in somebody else's home. And I don't know if you heard there's on social media going around. They say that DCF or CPS is one of the biggest you know one of the biggest selling kids into the where kids disappear. They out of the community, the CPS community. A lot of because they don't have families going to look for them, so they get lost in the shuffle. And if nobody's looking for them, they just go missing. That's it. So if a lot of kids that don't have family, I feel for them, like I really do, and because I still have someone that I love close into it, and these people are so shiesty. If I'm not the type of person to just to get along to go along to get along, I have questions. They tried to take me off of being her guardian because I told them no, that I didn't want this person going through whatever situation it was, or I didn't want this person on medicine because they're having a bad day. They took me to court and tried to take me off. And when the judge looked at the case, he goes, you guys want him off. You don't want him in there anymore. He said, give me a reason. Well, he said no to this, and we really feel like this. The judge said, is he not there? He doesn't show up? They was like, no, he shows up every week. He's there. He's consistent. He was like, yo, get this out my face. And the judge was like, yo, get out. And then the CPS worker stood up. She said, well, I have a lot to say. And the judge just heard from the group home what was going on. The judge said, whatever you got to say, just hold it. That's it. I'm throwing this out. So it's a sad situation. Some kids really do need to get out of the situations they are in, and sometimes it's a lifesaver, but a large percentage makes kids worse.
Okay, I like that. So it's a split. You can see where, and I know you having a background and dealing with them and seeing, that I think you need more, but there needs to be a balance. And not every kid is the same.
Yeah.
Not every kid is the same. Some kids are going to need more attention than others.
Yeah.
I only feel bad for the ones they're not equipped for the world yet. It's like it's like you have your kids at home and they come from like a 2-parent household or whatever, a good family, not a rough family, and they get tossed into that system.
I want to say 90% of those kids ain't ready for the world.
Yeah, and you're right. I was talking about like the I don't want to call them bad, but the ones that don't know the street from the ones that are just home playing video games to the ones that are out there, stick them up.
I mean, if you got parents if the parents don't got rules and regulations, if you came up in a household where the parents are on drugs and you're just left there to defend yourself, and you find somebody offer you a pack and be like, all right, come out the house, let's get some money. Don't stay in the house where your mom is smoking and there's a bunch of dudes there. That's an opportunity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame anybody that, I know a little bit about that type of, upcoming, and unfortunately, it's a life of crime, but it's also away from home where if you left to fend for yourself, you can be raped if you're at home because you don't know the guys coming in and out. You know what I'm saying? Running out in the street may save their life to a certain extent. It may destroy their life, but they're running away from something that's so wicked at home.
Yeah. I think we could all testify, like growing up in inner city, like now that I got a family and I'm out here, it's like, yo, I see life way different. But when I was younger, yo, we were out there running to the park.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
looking at
different
some of these
times though.
kids.
Different
I'm
times.
looking at some of these kids. It's like
they stay in the house.
I used to walk for miles when I was a young kid. Man, I walked for miles. No, you can't even have a 7 or 8 year old walk 3 miles without somebody calling the cops.
Yeah.
Yo, I remember when punishment was you can't go outside. On a Saturday morning when everybody meeting at the park, play football or something, you can't go outside.
That was
grandma, you hoping you get a whoop ass.
Yeah.
You hoping. I take one of those. No, you ain't going outside.
Yeah.
Man.
These kids, that's you telling them what they do anyway. If you tell them you can't go outside, hey, all right, that's nothing. They be on their phone, locked on their phone, locked in their room. They come out to get something to eat, go right back up in there.
Hey, hopefully the Connecticut government change that and change the algorithms in Connecticut so our kids would stay off the phones.
It starts at home with whoever's in charge, man.
It starts at an early age. These parents give the tablet to raise the kids.
They give. Yeah, I'm a witness of that.
Constantly is on it, like all the time.
All the time.
And they don't ever learn nothing. They'll never do nothing.
Well, the thing is about that. These kids are much smarter when they're on the tablet, and they're much more smarter. They just don't have the physical attributes of learning physically. Like they can't apply it to life. They can apply it on the phone, but they can't articulate that to the teacher.
But here's what happens though. Once the kid finds something that you hope that they find something educational.
Yeah.
But normally that ain't gonna happen because if she just got dudes coming in and out of the room while the kid got the tablet, what is he watching? What is she looking at?
Yeah, it all starts at home. Yeah, but I'm saying some kids that, like, I have a grandson. He gravitates. He don't speak, but he gravitates to math, a lot of educational stuff, ABCs. He's doing multiplication. He's 5 years old, understand multiplication, but he can't articulate that on a paper. Like, you understand what I'm saying? He can articulate that on the phone or the tablet, but he can't. So when he goes to school, he's set back far behind. But when you pull out a tablet and give it to him, he's doing things the fifth graders are doing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So this is like anything. Like if you're blind, all your other senses are magnified. And if you're deaf, all your other senses are magnified. So and these kids are like. It's a lot of rabbit holes you can go down with this conversation.
That was the first conversation we were having when you popped in. It was the same. It went right back to that. It's the same thing where social media. It's a big thing. Is
it's a lot of places you can I think the vaccines, we can go there. How it's starting with these kids. Like everybody has ADHD. Everybody's autistic now. It's a lot of places you can start and go right there with it.
Yeah.
But for time's sake and what we're talking about with the CPS, man, like it's crazy. I've seen there's some wicked people out there. And I just wish there were more people that did care.
Yeah.
So I mean, but it is what it is. If these kids don't have anybody looking for them, they get lost in the shuffle.
Definitely. I agree with that. I think there should be more and more people, but like you said, and I understand your point, Brandon. There needs to be a balance because you're gonna be swamped.
That from his perspective, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna be swamped.
Yeah.
Now let's roll into the next one.
Through the bikini barista stand with her 10-year-old son to give him his first bikini barista experience. Ew. She pulled up to my window so her son in the passenger seat was closest to me, and as soon as I saw a child in the front seat of that car, I put my robe on. Because I am not here to show my mostly nude body to children. The reality of bikini coffee is we're not wearing bikinis. I'm wearing lace lingerie, a bra and underwear. Anyways, I put my robe on. She's like, oh, I wanted to give him his first experience, and I guess I'm being a pervy mom. And I just kind of laugh awkwardly, like, I'm not taking my robe off. This is fucking weird. Your child is in elementary school. Why are you taking him here? I'm not a parent, but if I was, I really don't think I would want my elementary age child going to school to tell their friends and their teachers that mommy just took me to get drinks from a naked lady. I've had dads come through with their teenage sons, and that's uncomfortable as well, but having a mom and her 10-year-old looking at you, expecting you to take your robe off is another level of fucking weird. And I'm not saying you can't bring your kids through here. Like, we get families all the time, but typically when you have kids, they're in the back seat and you're not pulling them directly up to the window so they can sit there and stare at me and you can give them their first time. Are we strictly 18 plus? No. Am I gonna sit here and fulfill a weird fantasy you have to give your child an inherently sexual first time experience? Also, no!
So, a mother brings her son to a bikini barista.
Strip joint.
Hey, babe, I can't take Johnny's side of things. Nah, we gonna have to replan that. All right, no problem. Yeah, no problem. Damn, I had to cancel, man. Johnny's 8.
That's the difference between our parents and how parents are today. Like they're so loose. We didn't have all of that freedom.
Okay.
I feel like that. It's all over the place, though. Like
it is. It's a national. It's a earthly problem right now.
Now, it's obvious that she got standards and morals.
Yeah.
Because I sure a lot of other women would have probably took a tip.
Yeah.
Take a tip. You know what I'm saying? So I think she a different one right there.
Yeah. She ain't about she is about the money, but she had a moral compass.
Exactly. She does.
I like that.
Because she in the money business.
Yeah.
But she confusing me. You talking about, okay, you a bikini barista, but you wearing lingerie.
She's a stripper. She's a stripper.
You know?
Period.
And then it comes down to like, hey, what's the difference between a bikini and bra and panties anyway? It's where you're at.
So how do you feel about
okay?
So how do you feel about mom bringing the son? Why not?
Right.
Dad?
That's mainly the main point. And I think what happened with social media, they have to change the wording so it fit the platform.
That is weird, right?
It is what it is. I mean, bring your son there. Hey, make sure your daughter don't end up doing this for a living. You never know what.
Now, it's one thing if you bring your son, he around the age you drop him off. You know what I'm saying? But to be like, come on, son, take a look.
I mean, hey, I'm getting my coffee. Look, you see them things right there? That's what she doing for a living. She ain't showing no peep, you know, this and that. What's the harm? You do this for a living. It's your job. You got a W-2 to say you in your bikini making coffee. Give me my goddamn coffee with my son right there. If he see a little jiggle, so what?
At what age did you start drinking coffee? Isn't 10 a little too young for cafe?
I ain't gonna lie. My grandfather had me at 8 with a cup of coffee out there on the tractor. It was cool.
So you was at that barista?
Pretty much. Listen, he was a firefighter. He had the Chris little firefighter, little naked woman cards in the truck. I'm like, God damn, that's a woman, huh? But that was my upbringing, so I don't see nothing wrong with this. I ain't gonna say the lady over there putting words at home. Pervy mom, get your coffee.
Yeah.
Get your coffee.
That was a little weird too.
So it's like this. I think I agree with the lady, right? It was a mother bringing her 10-year-old son. What do the mother expect? What you know what I'm saying? Because You expose a little boy to that now. What you expect him to do? Go back to little Samantha in school?
I see hotter than you, Samantha.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you gotta be mindful. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we younger, it's like, well, I grew up different, but you know what I'm saying?
She planted a wicked seed.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're planting a seed, because if he's young and he's not exposed to that, and that's a lot of exposing right there.
Yeah.
A lot of exposing. It's different if it's from his peers. If he's a little boy and he's going to have that same peer-to-peer conversation where he can kind of match that energy. But once you have a grown lady and he ain't seeing that and his mama don't look like that, you setting that boy up for some problem.
Yeah, see, when we were little, we had to sneak, and you know, when everybody was asleep, they had that one channel.
Yep, HBO.
Hey, classic.
Or when you went into a bookstore or a bus stop, you know, back in the corner they had the magazines. We had to sneak because we knew it was wrong. Or we wasn't old enough.
Follow PN back there. We might go to Blockbuster.
Yeah,
Just
you know,
PN.
they had that little corner in Blockbuster. You know
No,
what
that
I'm
was
saying?
actually
You know?
Video Galaxy.
Yeah, Video Galaxy.
Yeah, they'd had one up in New Britain. They had one that had a little door in front of it. You just push the door open and voila.
Yeah, New Britain got a whole bunch.
So, I mean, back then where we knew something was wrong, okay, we did it anyway, 10 years old, 11, 12, whatever. Right, where she's inviting him to do that, that's kind of it's crazy, but it's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. It ain't gonna get no better, according to the book that I'm reading.
I agree. But who thought a bikini barista would be making money?
I think she changed the wording. I think it's a stripper joint.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah, I think she had to change the wording. Yeah, it's just a regular strip booth.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, if the coffee trash, what's the point?
Yeah,
I can't see any instance. Well, now that I'm older, I can't see any instance where that's viable to my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
It's you're only at the window. How long when you go through a drive-through window? How long you there for?
I mean, I could find change underneath the seat. You feel me? Hey,
you know, remember in New York where they had the booths that you used to go, you can go and I don't know. She said a drive up. So, but remember back in New York, you had the booths you can go and take a peek for like 25 cents or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah. So I would imagine it's something like that. But she said a drive through, so that's
at the end of
next
the day,
level.
she's still making coffee. So
yeah,
I guess
that's
they
a
get
plus.
to look at it when they pick it up.
That's a plus.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't bring my child. I wouldn't bring my child. No. And that's not some place that I see. I think what age group would that be for? I can't even say because everybody in different place in their life, man.
I don't think that's ever appropriate.
That's something you do with your peers, man. You figure that out.
Yeah, not your parents.
Not with mom.
Parents. You ain't the ones that's supposed to do that.
No, my parents are supposed to be setting examples. So whatever example she's setting, you know, and it goes back to what she was exposed to as a kid. She don't know, you know how messed up she is. Who knows?
True. So it's basically showing more the mother mentality than anything else.
Anything else? Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna move to the next one. I skipped 3.
Y'all, they got me. I received a letter in the mail today saying that I owe unemployment $10,000 for fraud. How is it fraud if it's my money? I worked for it. I want my money. But because I was still working and receiving unemployment, now they want me to pay back my money. $10,000 at that, almost 11 bands. I don't even know what to do at this point, but don't know. They don't know. I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna take it to court. Prove that I stole it. Prove that it was fraud. That's all I gotta say. And if you can't prove that I did fraud, then I don't care what you're talking about. For real.
Okay, so the audio on that one was slightly low, but
Nah, we heard her. The entitlement, man.
So I'm gonna say this happened to me one time.
Ooh.
This happened to me one time. I was working and I was receiving unemployment. And what happened was they messed up my unemployment amount. And I think they pay me, it was like double dipping. They pay me the wrong amount. It wasn't like I like fraud or anything like that. They paid me more than what they were supposed to pay me. And when they figured it out, I had to pay it back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like somebody filed a claim, they paid it, then somebody else came in after and paid it. So they double paid me. I'm like, oh, that's nice. You know what I'm saying? So in that instance, I would say, yeah, what is fair is what is fair. If you go through in the numbers, you know what I'm saying? I had to pay it back. You know what I'm saying? But in her case, she don't know they gonna garnish her wage. I know she's speaking out of ignorance because that's what they're gonna do. They don't care if they once they find this fraud or they find they overpaid you, they're coming for their money and they're gonna take it out your check, or they're gonna take it out the unemployment check. So if they got to give you 500, they're gonna give you they're gonna give you like 200. They're gonna take back half of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of what they did for me. They kind of just took it out of the amount that they previously gave me, you know, so they just kind of garnish half of that. You know, they didn't leave you without any, but what's your thoughts on this?
Considering that's a clip for what they did to you, I get it. For her, knowing she worked and getting unemployment, take your L. Oh, if they can't prove it. Why would you play with these people? Just pay them their money. You know you was
Yeah.
I'm gonna say on her behalf, maybe she was ignorant about the situation, and being from the hood, it seemed like a come up. No, it was wrong. Take the come up. I mean, I'm getting paid twice. I'm working and I'm getting this unemployment just to get by. And she probably knew it was wrong, and she's just gonna deal with the repercussions. That's all. It's a learning lesson. She's gonna find out. Huh?
So what happens is this, right? What happens is they have the partial one. So I think there used to be partial unemployment where you would work half the week and then you could make up 10 hours in unemployment. So that's something that is doable. I don't know if they still do it. So it's like if your hours get cut and you're used to making a certain amount, you would only work your 20 hours and you'll file for your unemployment in the amount that you miss. And what some people realized was unemployment wasn't paying attention. I could put in 40 hours and still collect that 20 hours. And you could go months like that and unemployment wouldn't really care. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You're on mute. You got to unmute.
They know how much you're making, regardless. Like if you're working for an LLC and they got to report everything, they know exactly how much you're making. If they told you, okay, you can only work 20 hours, you can still receive unemployment. That's the guidelines. If you go 30, you're working 30 hours, and you're not reporting that, it's always repercussions.
Yeah.
But they know how much you're getting paid. Sometimes they want to see how far you go. She went to the max. She went. She skated on 11,000.
Because that's what I was saying. I was saying that that's what some people used to do. I'm like, no, they know. Like I agree with you, Jake. They know exactly how much you're making. But some people used to go months.
Yeah.
They're like months. You know what I'm saying? Doing partial work and claiming full time. people used to go months, and unemployment would never collect it. They
That's
they
a
would never
loophole.
collect it.
That's a loophole to the systems. Only few people find that loophole and maximize it. And
True.
not everyone. Yeah, it's only few people find that loophole, and they'll work it all the way. Work 20 hours, find a job that's only giving 20 hours or only demand 20 hours so they can get that money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DCAT, we do see you in the comments. We appreciate you, man.
We appreciate you, definitely. So, but yeah, with that one, man, I think she gonna quickly find out. You know what I'm saying? She gonna find out quickly.
All money ain't good money.
Nah,
yeah, for sure. She gonna find out fast. Yeah, I think they do a lot of more investigating nowadays before they give out the money. I don't think they're gonna give out 11,000 that fast. Or
well, the
whatever
time
state
changed. Though. It changed.
Yeah, it changes.
Yeah,
and
it
they
changed.
monitor.
And the system changed.
Yeah,
they switched over the system. The system
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then it
Back
wasn't
then-
all. Yeah, it wasn't all thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was man. All you do is answer those 7 questions, and boom, that was it.
That was it. Yeah, the system changed.
Yeah, now you got to put in which jobs you look for, and
No, that was always there. It was always there.
Not back then. Not back then. When I'm talking in like the 90s. All you did was answer 7 questions over the phone, and that was it. You didn't have to put in. They actually were you looking for work, actively seeking for work, and you say yes, hit 1 and say yes. That's it. Now, if you go on unemployment, you have to put actual 3 jobs at least.
Yeah,
that you went and filled out the application. You got to put their name, their number, the address, everything. So
I can speak on the 2000s though. Like you would get them questions, right? But then you get an email that'd be like, "Hey, we need to see proof of them work searches." Like, oh, damn.
And see, in the 2000s, that's when they had emails. When I'm talking about like the 90s when they didn't no emails. it was just 7 questions over the phone.
True. Those 7 questions, but Drake, you always had to have that list, but they weren't checking them.
They weren't.
I remember
if back then, if they were,
they
didn't.
It was
check
a
them.
paper trail. That's the whole thing. Since it was a paper trail, and you had to go, because I remember like when I was like 17, 18, like 91, 90, I mean 80, 90, 2002 around there, when I was working. They used to give me the paper, and I literally used to go do it. And somebody was like, "Yo, you don't got to do that."
Somebody knew the loophole.
Yeah, it's like, "Yo, you don't got to do that." It's like, I'm like, "What?"
Hey, gentlemen, I gotta take off. Y'all be easy.
All right.
All right.
So someone was like, "You don't got to do that. Just go ahead, file each week. You'll be all right, man." And I was like, "What?" But I was out there, man. I was out there.
I don't blame you. You gotta hedge your bets. Next thing you know, they're asking for that paper and you ain't got it. Then what?
Yeah, because that was the whole thing. You had to submit it and all, and they were early stage. It's like when you get it filled out, it was nowhere to submit it. That was the whole thing, because it was a paper trail. Mm-hmm. Now you could do it online where they could document it, but that was the early days, early 2000. Said the NFL, the AFC. I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl though this year around. Oh, that Super Bowl
Cardi B baby father supposed to be there.
Offset?
Not the other one, the new one. He just pulled up. What? Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
And the Patriots too, I think.
Oh, junk. So is so the Patriots and who? I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl.
I can't remember who he played for. I don't even follow sports like that. I just know that's in the news. So I'll see.
Yeah, man, I've been busy, man. I can't tell you who's on what team. I've been following the Browns a little bit, but other than that, yeah, DCAT, who's in the Super Bowl? Because I know the Super Bowl this week or next week, right?
When is it? You know what? I think it's next week.
Yeah,
my brother
next week. It's like one more Saturday. It's normally like the second Saturday. Yeah.
2026. Seahawks and the Patriots.
Oh man, Patriots gonna win. That's my team, the Patriots. I ain't watch them in a year though, like 2 years.
I mean, look, Tom Brady ain't there no more. I don't know who else they got.
Nah.
Gronk ain't there no more. Aaron Hernandez ain't there no more.
Yeah, he was from Bristol.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, man, home screwed it up, man. Had a future ahead of him.
I blame that CTE.
Yeah, that's that Connecticut lifestyle. All right, well, let's roll into the next ones. Let's go to number 5. Patriots and Seahawks going for.
Yeah. Quicker than that, D-Cat.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's roll into the next.
Citizen ever to claim asylum in the UK.
It's crazy for me not to receive some kind of benefit.
A US citizen claim asylum in the UK, have his claim rejected, but remain here being funded by the taxpayer.
27-year-old called Alabadi Shunrigan, who is originally from Las Vegas, where his family have a house worth $500,000 and live in a gated community.
This is where I live. I live right here.
He is clearly pro-Democrat, and he films himself at this joyous event.
He had purchased a plane ticket to the United Kingdom. He got on a Norse flight from Vegas to the UK.
I'm flying Norse right now.
He lands at Gatwick a day later on October the 23rd, and he immediately makes an asylum application on arrival.
He claimed the police and employers had prevented him from getting a job because he is black. And he also says that he fell out with his parents.
He contacts an organisation called Migrant Help UK.
Right now, I am in room 3 at Heathrow Travel Care of Heathrow Airport.
He's quite happy with that because he films a room tour.
It's a really nice room. There's a table and a seat and a TV. Nice couch over there. The bed's nice. Taxpayers are paying for me to be here. I didn't know that, and I want to say thank you if that's the situation, because I have been receiving funds from, I guess I've been receiving funds via the Islington Council, you know. I think that it's crazy for me not to receive some kind of benefit. So I'm not too surprised, and I don't think that £400 is a lot of cash. I can live.
So that was American citizen going to UK, filing for asylum. I don't even want to say the words. What are your thoughts without me even posing a question on this situation?
I think even if he just wanted to play the game, if he hadn't been doing all those videos of where he live at home and the rallies he attend, maybe it would have been like, you know what, maybe the UK will investigate, see if this man actually needs asylum, and all right, yeah, we'll put him up. I mean, the logic is nicer than I would expect for somebody seeking asylum, but yeah, this is nonsense. Like, somebody in the UK is not doing their job, or they're not vetting this properly, because y'all letting this man run up the bill.
Right. So this is the same thing that's going on in the US. And this is what they're trying to say. When people come here to this country, right? And that's what I was seeing was that's how they're living. And they're running up a tab and people are paying for it. How could you? Because he said he went there and they denied his asylum on day 1.
Mm-hmm.
So he filed for asylum as he landed and claimed that he couldn't get a job as a black man. And he'd been living in hotels for the rest of the time. all of the other stuff, like the videos and you were showing, that's just context of where he comes from.
Yeah.
You know, when they said his parents make 50, like 500, live in a $5,000 100 home in Vegas, that's cheap. For Las Vegas, that is cheap. So he's pretty much middle class, lower middle class.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like I understand in terms of like if that's what it if it's on the opposite side, that's what it looks like. Somebody got to put a system in place to deal with this because as soon as you get denied, all right, why are you still here?
That's the message. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. It's like if you get denied, why are you still in the country?
But then that makes me think about the processes for the UK and the US. After you're denied, what is the next step towards getting you back to your country of origin?
Exactly, and I think that's what I couldn't understand if that guy was playing it because he knows the system, because he wasn't stupid. So he had to know that's how the society worked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
As long as
he seems tongue in cheek about everything.
Yo, he was entitled.
Yeah.
Very. It's like 400 pounds. Right there, that part where I cut it off, it was like he don't think 400 pounds is enough.
That's like what, $600 American dollars?
Yo, we got to get up and go to work.
I don't know what he doing now. I want to know because he had a name I can't even Google. I know that much. He is something crazy.
Yeah, I got to do a follow-up video. This video was like a 60 minutes video. This was a short clip from the video. I think I'm gonna go back and react to this video because it's kind of showing what it's like coming to America and seeking asylum and living it up. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
This one kind of, you see how people come here and get paid or taken care of on tax dollars. You know what I'm saying? So let's see this one right here. Game playing in the background, net breaking. What's the clean eraser? Oh,
he kept running it up.
Yeah. You talking about like the halftime commercial?
Subway $3.99. Where you live? I can't get a 6-inch for $3.99.
Yeah, they changed that price.
They're killing us.
They changed that price. It was like $6.90, $6.99. Now you go, it's like $12. Let's move on to the next one.
All right.
You got pregnant at 14. You had your baby at 15. Sweet little bouncing baby boy. You gave the baby boy up for adoption because you're too young and unstable to watch your child. Fair enough. Not everyone is stable to watch their child at the age of 15. Not everyone's ready for a child at the age of 15. You're still a baby. Babies having babies. Do you understand? So I'm not here to blame you. 25 years later, you've now got into a relationship. You find out that that's the son that you gave up for adoption. The worst part about it is, you've now confronted him about it. You're sick to your stomach about finding out that you're dating your own son. For him to turn around and said he already knew. What is going on? What am I hearing? What do you mean? What do you mean you already knew? That's disgusting. That's nasty. That's an issue. That's jail time. That's an M case. That is battery. That's manslaughter. Someone's in trouble. Someone's in trouble.
You gotta love the British accent, man.
Definitely.
They make
hear what P
everything flavorful when they talk.
He said, "Yo, I saw some of the clips in the other day. This is just disgusting and savage." True, man. Yo, Yeah. I was watching a show like this one time. Man, I just turned that shit off and walked out. I ain't gonna lie.
Blame you. Don't blame you.
I think it was a story where a guy lost his daughter, and what he did was whoever, I guess the father killed the daughter or whatever, and the guy created this whole thing where he kidnapped his daughter. When the guy got out of jail, he made two of them meet, and they fell in love. And I was like, well, why y'all couldn't tell me this at the start? Turned that shit off and walked out. I was
Sounds like Old Boy.
I was like,
They putting some sick stuff out there, but it do be happening in the world. And this story sounds very familiar because I did see something a year or so ago. A woman had put her kid up for adoption, and she ended up dating him, but she ended up knowing he knew, and they were still continuing the relationship. So to see something else, same way, it's disturbing. I don't know what goes on in these people's minds, what don't go on in their minds, but like, come on, that's just sick.
Yeah, that's weird, yo. That's weird.
You gotta hit the pearly gates and see the Lord, and you gotta explain yourself. You going down.
Yeah. And to know how do you live with yourself? How do you sleep with yourself? You know what I'm saying? These people, I don't know. They oh, I was reading some comments, right? I was reading some comments. I could probably pull it up for the video that I have. It's actually doing numbers. In the comments, a guy came in from Australia, or he said in Australia, you could marry your first cousin. He said in certain places you could literally marry your first cousin. And I was like,
why would you want to though?
Exactly. And yo, man, that's a whole video there. In that one thing, I could just do a show on the comments that I see people from around the world. You know what I'm saying? From around the world, and some of the stuff. And it's I thought, and be honest, right? Even though like this situation is weird, I can understand. It's like this one makes the cousin and cousin one a little bit more normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The siblings and the family, like oh man. I don't know, man. I don't know. These people need to be evaluated.
I mean, different times. I'm thinking, who was it? Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He married his cousin. President of these United States.
Damn.
Don't make it right, though. Don't make it right. Oh, never mind. Still don't make it right. It was his fifth cousin once removed, so that's a very distant relation. But still.
Yeah. All right.
Damn, I know that. Fifth cousin? I ain't gonna lie, I'm doing a family tree. I'm just finding out about third cousin. So how the hell you get to a fifth cousin?
Yeah. And some of that stuff is when you don't know. It's like when you don't know. I was one of the things that I couldn't read, or the video I couldn't watch. They were talking about the word MF, like mother, and it was talking about how the slave, they had these, they call them bucks.
Yeah.
And what they would do is they would put, I don't know if it was the bag over the guy's head or the woman's head. And these were the strong guys, the big bulky guys, and they were placed to put with ladies, and sometimes it'd be their own mothers to procreate bigger guys. Like they were treating them like horses. I don't know if they do that. I'm trying to whatever it was, they were treating them like, they said a certain animal. So I don't want to say horses and get the context wrong.
Yeah,
but they were treating them like certain thing where they, to kind of get the best breed out of. And I was like, nah, bro, I can't do this. I can't do this. It was like, because they, they were explaining where that word come from. I was like, But we're gonna hop off this one. This one is word.
Very much.
Let's roll into this one.
Happened when I was set up by my best friend to be unalived and shot 5 times while 18 weeks pregnant. So I'm on the operating table. They done pumped me full of that good shit, y'all. And within seconds, I'm asleep. I'm knocked out. Meanwhile, outside, the hospital on swole, y'all. I'm talking about church on New Year's Eve swole. And if you've never been to church on New Year's Eve, first Friday at the club swole. And they got my family in a separate waiting area. But because nobody knows what happened to me, they just know that I was gunned down. You had to have a special code in order to get into this waiting area with my family. So now my family in this waiting area and they going through it. My sisters and brothers crying, my daddy boo-hoo crying, my mama pacing, she praying, she on her hands and knees, begging the Lord, just spare my baby life and take mine instead. So by this time, they get a call and my best friend has arrived. And they want to know if it's okay for them to give him the code and send him up. So without hesitation, y'all, my mama said, yes, give him the code, send him up. Because that's my best friend. And when he come in the room, my mama instantly hug him. He crying, she crying. She just asking him like, what happened? Did you see anything? Where were you at? Like, she want to know some details because at this point, nobody knows anything except that I was with him and my cousin. So y'all, this child of God told my people that he didn't know what happened. He didn't see what happened. All he know is that when he went inside the trailer, he heard the shots, and when he came back outside, I was gone. And while he over there talking to my mama, my daddy pulled my little sister to the side, and he tell her, listen, he did this to my baby. He know what happened. I don't know why, but in my heart, I know he know what happened, and I know he did it. So I'm in surgery for hours, y'all.
So this is a longer video, and with these videos, I'm giving you guys a little bit more context than the shorter ones, and I hope this is working out. And you guys can let us know how you liking these a little bit longer, not too long, but just enough to get the full context. Is this a best friend?
Hell no.
And her best friend was a guy.
Yeah, I always, well, not always, but I just look at it. I feel like you can have guy best friends, but I feel like the men have ulterior motives. Maybe it didn't work out with you and him, and maybe that's where he felt so comfortable setting this up, or whatever happened, allegedly.
Yo, 7 shots.
She's still here. Knock on wood somewhere.
She the video go on to explain that they told her that she was going to go and break it down. If she make it, the baby could die. If the baby make it, she is able to die, and they don't know what her quality of life would be like after. And everything was like downhill. And to see that she recovers, she's able to talk, move, function, and back to normal life. Granted, I didn't see the rest of it. This is about probably like a 7-minute video.
Okay.
What would possess you to then shoot a 7? I think she was like 7 or 8 month, some late term pregnancy lady, like 5 to 7 times.
I feel like 5 to 7 times. That says it all right there. That's an act of anger. She did something. I don't know if she robbed somebody. I don't know if she hurt somebody. But she did something. Somebody wanted you gone. She did something heinous.
Well,
had to be.
Well, I think it was him because the way how I didn't get all the way to the end, and we're assuming that because she said her father knew. Yeah. And that's the one thing parents always got. You got that one parents with those good instincts. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they're right. You know what I'm saying? They're like, how the hell you figure that out? But yeah, how could you in good conscience commit an act like this, then go? Boy, people would do a lot to cover up their tracks.
Definitely, and I feel like he wanted to see it through at the very least to see if she make it through surgery. But that's just too much. Too much. You're too close to it. You already know who perpetrated it if it wasn't you to begin with, and now you just trying to make sure she gonna make it. Like, you got to get right with yourself, man. Bad enough a pregnant woman had already been attacked, but then you gonna go up there?
Yeah, that's double. That's what they call it, double homicide.
Oh yeah,
Or
yeah. If the
it's
baby
two.
went, yeah,
It's thing. So if that happened, where but those are one of those things you gotta be careful, man. People don't think, because all the charges are going to be double or triple depending on what she carrying. Because if it's twins, whew, I'm sorry, bro. So
I just wonder, what did she do? Why would somebody do that to her, especially knowing she's pregnant?
Well, it seemed like he's pointing to him, because that's what she's telling the story. It was him. It was her best friend. What? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this comes down to the point of, was he jealous that someone else got her pregnant, or he ain't never get to tag?
Could be both of those things.
But why?
That's just crazy, beyond crazy. Because it's never that serious.
Exactly. It's like, yo, why? It's like this. If someone doesn't choose you, I don't think end of life should be the answer.
Agreed.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Move on, focus on the next thing.
It's like, yo, I've seen so much. You see so much in life where I was watching one. I got a next video that's playing where you remember the video from last week, where the one with the lady where she was running from the guy. She liked the guy, but she was running.
Yeah.
Someone commented. I got a couple good comments on that. This guy said when he was dating this girl, this girl walked up to him and they started having a conversation. And he said the girl was just like that, right?
Yeah.
So he said at the time he had a girlfriend. So he said he was married. Then I think she got married. And he said after his marriage got dissolved, that same girl that they kind of had that interaction, he said he ended up marrying her.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, wow, I got it pinned on the video. So he tells the story. And it's funny, a lot of people tell stories like that, where it's like, hey, that chick didn't work out for him at that apparent time. You know what I'm saying? And he said he was saying, yo, that was the exact same story. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, it didn't work out at that moment. He said he had a girl and everything, but he said the chick was up front. He said it reminded everything like this story. He's like, yo, this reminded me of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I had a girlfriend. And he said, after the thing, he said, yeah, he called up and he made it happen. They moved in and they said they living happily. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean the end of life. If you like someone, it doesn't mean that's she might have a kid, but you know what I'm saying? You probably might have if you're interested, you probably might have a chance on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
he blew that.
Now he probably in jail, sleeping with Bubba.
Gotta be. That's the only love he'll be getting for a long time. Wonder if that baby made it.
I could pull it up and see. You want to see if the baby made it?
I want to see if the baby made it.
Let's see if the baby made it.
Surgeon come out to give my family their first update. So she tells my family that, right now we're doing everything that we can to save her life. The situation is serious and she is critical. We can't make you any promises, and we don't know if we would be able to save her. But if we do save her, we don't think that we would be able to save the baby. And if we save her, we don't know what her quality of life would be. So they let my family know that I'm going to need a health proxy because over the next couple of days, some important decisions are going to have to be made. And my mama and my daddy, they both stressing that they just can't do it. They couldn't make them type of decisions. So my little sister stepped up and she said, I'll do it. I got her. So the doctor go back into surgery and my family's still outside waiting. While they waiting, my sister goes around and she kind of tell everybody in my family, listen, daddy think that this nigga had something to do with it. So y'all pay attention to him, okay? And my best friend, he acting kind of weird because when he off by himself, he cool, he chilling. But anytime anybody say anything to him, this nigga go to Keith Sweat, Johnny Gill, snot nose, crocodile, tear crying, y'all. I'm talking about putting on in that bitch for my people. So the doctor's fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my life. My family praying for my life. And this fuck nigga ain't here putting on. So after a couple hours passed, the doctor come out and she let my family know, hey, we've done everything that we could do for her up until this point. It's really up to her whether she makes it through the night. So I'm out of surgery, but they couldn't close me up because my body wasn't strong enough to finish some of the surgeries that they had to do. So they put me in an isolation room where nobody could come inside because my stomach was still open. They let my family know, hey, you guys can go home for the night. There's nothing else that we can do here. But my mama and daddy stressing we ain't leaving. We staying. But my little sister, she leaves. And when she leaves, she don't go home. She goes straight to the police department. So when she goes to the police department, she lets them know, hey, listen, my sister best friend was involved. You guys need to look into them. And then that's when the police began investigating my best friend. So over the next couple of days, I end up having 2 more surgeries. And when I'm finished with these surgeries, I end up on a ventilator because my lungs had collapsed. So now, every day, they're trying to wean me off this ventilator. But every time they try to take me off the ventilator, I'm not breathing on my own. So after a couple of days, they go to my family and they like, hey, listen, it's about time to make one of those tough decisions that we were talking about. Because we trying to take her off this ventilator and she's not breathing on her own. And she can't stay on this ventilator forever. So maybe it's time for you guys to start making some type of arrangements. And my little sister is like, hell no, we ain't doing that. We gonna give her some time to fight. Her life ain't over yet. So while all this is going on, the police have started their investigation into my friend. So now they have obtained a search warrant for my best friend's home. And when they go to serve the search warrant on my best friend's home, they find all type of shit in his house, y'all. None of it was related to my shooting, but all of it was illegal. So Buddy got booked that day. He was on his way to the county. So now my best friend is booked and everybody's shocked. But my family is still focused on my survival. So it come a time where they like, okay, we need to take her off this ventilator. We've given her some time and you guys need to make a decision. So my mama, my sister, and my daddy sit down and they decide that they're going to take me off the ventilator. And if I make it, I make it. But if I don't, then that's all God's plan. So the day that they take me off the ventilator, it's my mama, my daddy, my sisters, my brother, and my godmama in the room. So they take the tube out my throat, y'all. And when they take the tube out my throat, I go to gasping for air, like gasping. I'm pulling at the tubes, like I'm in that bitch acting crazy. So they had to sedate me. So over the next couple of days, I'm heavily sedated, y'all, because every time I come up out this sedation, I'm acting a fool. But while I'm heavily sedated, I keep asking for like pen and paper. I'm doing like this. And when they give me the pen and paper, I keep scribbling my homeboy name and the enforcer's name the best that I can on these papers. So my sister take these papers and she take them to the police department. And she's stressing, I don't know who this is, the enforcer, but you guys need to start looking into him too. So they start an investigation on the enforcer. So now because of my scribblings, the police are requesting that the hospital come down off the sedation because they need to talk to me. Because y'all, they was pumping me full of that good shit. I was loopy. I don't remember much of that time when I was on the sedation, but I remember bits and pieces. But I was totally out of it, y'all. So when I started to come up out of the sedation, I can barely talk because I've had this tube in my throat for like a week or so now. But it's me, my mama, my daddy, and my sister in the room. And one of the first questions I have when I become coherent is, did my baby make it? And they was like, yeah, your baby made it. So I'm crying at this point. I'm crying, I'm thanking God. But y'all, while I'm sitting there, I'm realizing my body feels so weird. Like, what's wrong? I can't feel my legs, y'all. Like, I totally can't feel my left leg at all. But my right leg, it's like tingling, like it's sleep. Y'all, I'm paralyzed in my left leg. I can't feel nothing at all. And I'm going to cut it right there. And y'all got to come back for part 9. And this was a 10-minute video, guys.
At least the baby made it.
Yeah. We had to watch all the way to the end
We
to
had
find out.
all that just to the baby made it. Okay.
The baby made it. The baby made it, guys. The baby made it. But yeah, that's crazy. So it seemed like there was an additional person there. Because he said the enforcer or the punisher. Which one? Yeah.
Yeah, enforcer. I'm like, what is going on here?
Damn.
Craziness. People, be careful what you get yourselves into.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So that was that one. We got like 2 more.
All right.
I know a lot of people came across this post. Yes, that's me. My son posted it. And I do want to respond. I don't want to argue, and I'm not here to explain myself, but I am here to take accountability. He's right. I fell short. Like, there were moments I chose wrong. There was times I wasn't present the way my kids needed me to be. And I know it caused them pain. I'm not going to minimize that or dress it up. I was young when I became a mom. I didn't have the tools or the emotional maturity that I needed to be a mom. But that's just in context. It's not an excuse. The impact still landed, and I'm going to own that. If my kids felt abandoned, unheard, or secondary, I know I felt them in every moment that they felt like that. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking for praise for doing my best. I'm just here to acknowledge the harm that I caused and to say I'm sorry. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And I am committed to doing better, not just saying I wish I had done better then. So to my kids, all of them, y'all feelings are valid. Your voice matters. And I'm listening.
So this is a mother where someone posts that I I can't remember the exact post, but it was on there. We hate you, mom, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what it is to tell my mom I hate her, bro.
Me neither.
Well, the fact that she's apologizing, she did something.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was the
Now,
next step I was going to go to. Go ahead, Pete.
yeah, when it comes to mother-daughter relationships or mothers in general, a lot of them become possessive. They want to run their kids' lives. They get in real deep, and there are times when the kids have to set boundaries. And this seems like it could be one of those situations where she had to set some boundaries, and the fact that the mother is actually apologizing and saying she was wrong, she did something.
Okay. I get the apology, but the problem with the internet is you having private conversations in public. Go to your kids and say all this.
I was talking to 12 earlier about that, and I said, man, people put anything on the internet. However, we need it because we need this content.
I did see 40K likes on the Sun post. So
I love it. I love it. It's like you said, I hate you, mom. Like, she did something. She did something bad.
Like she said, she wasn't present. She wasn't there raising them the way they supposed to. Because I hate you, mother. That's the mayonnaise type treatment. We don't do that.
Yeah,
extra mayo.
I hate you, mother.
That's a half a jar of mayo right there.
Big time.
Yo, let me tell you, if I make up my mouth to say I hate you, boy, the type of licks my ass would get, the type of butt whooping. I went West Indian on that one. Licks in America is butt whooping I would get. She would whoop my butt, make sure I got clean clothes, give me something to eat, and then say, go lay down and sleep. My mom would do all of that in the same order. It was like, you okay? Now go take a shower. I'm going to have some food for you.
Sound like a setup, mom. That's how they got us. Hey,
but yeah,
at least she's trying to correct some wrongs.
Yeah,
I do give her that. I give her the ability, and I know, like you said, she shouldn't have posted. But what if that's a way of letting the world know that she screwed up too as well?
Well, I'm sure it had to be done in public because there's a lot of times where these moms will get on Facebook and they'll make posts to their people, but it's addressing you, but it's not addressing you, but it's all about you type thing. Mm-hmm. So it's out there, and once it's out there in public, you can't come apologize to me in private. No, we're already in public, so you gotta save face and do whatever you gotta do. But so her mom got on the internet and I miss you, kids.
Yeah,
my open letter to the world. I'm sorry.
So it's like a grand gesture. It's a grand gesture, you know.
Oh yeah,
in so many words, yeah, in so many words. But it's the work that needs to come after. Don't just say you sorry on TikTok. What you gonna do after? You gonna actually have a conversation with me?
Put in the work.
What are we gonna do to change these things so we don't continue feeling like this? Feeling like I hate you, mother.
Probably
so let me ask you this question. This is your field of expertise, Brandon. Here we go, right?
Yeah.
Let's say these kids are adult, and I know you've seen it and you have that background. As let's say 18, we're gonna say adults, we're gonna say teens, like grown teen, 18 and up. How do a mother mend a broken relationship?
It's gonna take intensive therapy because you gotten them to a point where this is the norm. This is life. It's okay to not like your mom, even though it's not okay. And you're gonna have to sit with somebody that does not know you guys so y'all can hash your issues out. Both parties got to be willing to listen. Mom got to be willing to take accountability like she's doing on the video. And the kid also got to be open and be like, yo, this is not normal. You need to mend the relationship with your mom. So it's going to take some intensive therapy. But you already know all parties got to be involved. And there go the problem.
What are your thoughts on this, P?
Hey, like I said, I think the kids are setting some boundaries finally. And she knew she overstepped. A lot of therapy for real. They do need a lot of therapy. And until she start doing the work, the apologies don't really mean nothing. Just like Brandon said.
Okay,
So
so
hopefully she could put in the work.
But the question is, I would ask this question to you guys, right? Do therapy really work?
Therapy works when everybody is open-minded and putting in the effort. You got to cut past a lot of stigmas. A lot of black people just like, Psh, why am I here telling my business to these people? I don't know y'all. If you willing to put aside any stigma, if you actually willing to listen and put in the work, it can work. But it takes it from all parties. Because if the kid is just there and they ain't gonna do the work, you ain't getting nowhere. Mom is there, she ain't listening, you ain't getting nowhere. Everybody has to put in their part to work.
Okay. How about you, P? You think therapy works?
I mean, therapy is pretty much a deep conversation.
Okay.
And if you address it in the right way and approach it in the right direction, I think it will work. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you getting things off your chest. But if you're only putting out information without being able to receive anything, at the end of the day, you ain't gonna get no help or the help that you need to get better. So it's a two-way street for sure. And master manipulators are formed going to therapy. Just like K-Dot said, therapy showed me how not to give a F. You know what I'm saying? When you go to therapy, some things come out.
Yeah.
So if you're true about it, you're gonna really discover who you really are. So it can help. Definitely.
All right. I'm gonna rest that one, go to the next one, right?
All right.
I was waiting for this one.
I believe I'm about to say this, but ladies and gentlemen, this video that you're about to watch is absolutely real. This video was captured by a resident by the name of Tracy Shirley in Indianapolis, April of 2025, where he...
What just happened?
Where she captured the act on her Ring camera during the water heater repair and confronted the worker as well. She posted the video online to let people know that you really can't trust people who come to do maintenance work in your home when you're not home. I've looked it up and it seems like the guy was fired after doing this. And all I can think of is she's got dishes nearby and she prepares her meal there. Could he not find the bathroom? What is wrong with people?
This is nasty.
And I seen this clip pop up, but I didn't watch it. Damn it, now I'm watching it.
Well. Hey, this has got good anchor line in it.
Think about that. When people do stuff like this, I'm gonna share my experience first. I'm gonna go first. When I see people do stuff like this, you can imagine this is what they do at their home. You know what I'm trying to say? Because he was too comfortable walking up and doing that shit.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. To me, no, let me ask you this for real. That compared to the woman that put Nemo on her hoo-ha, right? Isn't this more of a insane asylum act? Like to walk into somebody's house because you work for a business, right? You don't know these people, and that was intentionally done. You know what I mean? You think about the safety verifications of that. Now we're talking about feces, we're talking about waste, we're talking about infections, we're talking about, you know what I mean? Isn't that more egregious than what she did?
I'll go first on this one. So The one with the doctor is somebody involved. If the lady didn't have the camera there, this would have went unnoticed. So the lady with the Nemo, she revealed herself to the doc. It was all a joke. She made a story. So
right.
So let me explain why. I didn't get to explain my reasoning why, but one of her reasoning was she had a story to go with the prank. You remember her information was malicious. She was saying, "Hey, I got a bad odor down there." So that's why it was based as something is wrong with her, because now the doctor is coming from a medical point of view where he's saying, "Hey, she's saying she got something fishy down there, so something is wrong." She's telling me that something is wrong down there to find out is a prank with a fish. So that's something that you got to come up with and think and act on. That's mental. He was relieving himself. That shit is, I was about to curse. It is disgusting.
It is disgusting, but he ran the water though.
Like, there's so many other ways he could have peed. I'm sure she had flowers. I'm sure there's a toilet in there. I'd rather you piss in my flowers than my sink.
But he ran the water. He ran the water though.
Exactly.
No, all of that is nasty. The plant, the fly. Yo, what happened to going outside?
No, where's the bathroom?
Public indecency. You want to get me arrested?
Exactly. Bro, I'd rather get a public indecency going outside than peeing on the sidewalk or something. But here, he did it in the kitchen sink. This is where like they wash their dishes.
Food is prepared.
He ran the water. The pee gone. They ran the water.
Yo, and second, like let's just be real. First of all, why y'all got so much goddamn dirty dishes in the sink? Why? What are we doing? Why we got so much dirty dishes in the sink? That
you know what? They said they was fixing the hot water heater. You can't be washing dishes in cold water. You feel me?
Well, you could still wash the dishes in cold water though.
I wouldn't. But I wouldn't pee in nobody's sink neither.
That was egregious, man.
It was bad. He got fired. He got what he deserved. But
sometimes it's good having a camera set up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what made her want to put that camera up though. I can see if you charging your Ring doorbell or something.
I know. Usually it's not inside, but for some reason she put it inside.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you don't trust some people in your house. You know what I'm saying?
Good instincts.
Yeah, because it got some people. I was listening to something that they were saying were like, well, I can't say it because it may not be true. Like people that's doing certain activities have cameras in their house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Huh?
The police are saying certain people that do certain activities have cameras in their house so they can monitor what happens.
What you mean?
Because the crime with the UPS guy showed up to the house, and the UPS guy, the fake UPS guy, and he took out the family. They had cameras in the house.
Oh,
that's how they were able to see some of the things that went on in there. So if most normal families wouldn't have cameras in there, but like if it's like, let's say, I don't want to say Airbnb, if you have something where somebody normally breaks in or something, you will definitely have a camera in there. Or you don't trust your kids because they sneak out.
That too. But listen, could you imagine being the boss and you get that call? Hey, one of your workers peed in my sink.
You mean the bathroom sink?
No. He peed on the tuna casserole.
Yo.
And then one of us add that got us looking bad.
Yo.
And here's the thing. I wonder if they found out right away or a couple of days later. They just had to be looking at the camera. Go, oh, whoa.
Slipping.
Yeah, that's You
I
think
would
he
have.
won't be able to work anywhere else?
I would have made him come back and wash some
Hell
damn
no.
dishes.
Everybody gonna know you did that.
Yeah, he's gonna work again. Probably he's gonna move out, move somewhere else, but he'll work again. I don't think that's the first time he's ever done that.
Nah, and that's what I'm saying. He was too comfortable doing that, boy.
There's people out here that has certain types of fetishes and different things they do, and I could see he do that often. Probably goes to people's house and yeah.
I can't say to each his own. That's just nasty.
Yeah, that is nasty, bro.
That's just nasty.
That's not caring about other humans. Like you don't give a crap about nobody, because for you to do something like that, that's damn near giving them something to drink. Give them your juice to drink. You know what I'm saying? Like you literally, man, that's why when people come to do stuff at your house, you know, our parents used to follow them around, see what they doing when they come in your house. You know, they don't just let them walk up in there willy-nilly doing stuff. That's bad.
Makes sense.
That's bad.
Definitely. Any closing thoughts on this one?
When in doubt, look for that bathroom.
Sometimes
that's one thing I'm gonna add to my list is when you think, and that's the thing. You don't have to like. That's why I can't understand with construction workers. How could they work like go do construction and they don't got no bathroom? I know they have the porta potties and stuff like that, but yeah.
Hey, that's part of the game.
All right, let's roll.
We outside. We outside all the time.
Cassie Jr. says around 5 o'clock Saturday night, he responded to a ride request in front of Cask's Social Kitchen in Tampa.
I called the Uber for my mother. Can you please get her home safe?
Cassie Jr. says 55-year-old Michelle Stillwell was asleep most of the ride until a few blocks from her home in unincorporated St. Pete.
Starts screaming some curse words at me, slaps me in my face.
Screaming, "My daughter," while scratching, strangling, and biting him. Deputies believe Stillwell was intoxicated.
It's like reliving a horror movie.
He wants to know why. We went to Stillwell's home for answers. The big question, why the attack happened on Saturday? No answer.
Uber, it is who I was driving for at the time, has not done a single thing.
Hassie Jr. says he's called Uber and is disappointed that no one has reached out. 8 on Your Side reached out on his behalf. An Uber spokesman responded saying, "What's been described is disturbing. Violence of any kind is not tolerated on the Uber app, and we immediately removed the rider's access as soon as this was reported to us."
My biggest takeaway is I'd stay away from Uber.
All right. So that was the guy taking an Uber ride and a passenger attacked. So we're getting to the age where you're starting to see a lot of claims like Uber, DoorDash. When is it, I don't think if those news reporters would have did anything, that guy would have really got any justice, because my point with this is the service are great, but when it goes wrong, I don't think they take accountability right away. They kind of have a hands-off approach, like, yo, it used to be our, thing. It's like they kind of pull away. Is that the same thing for you guys? What's your thoughts on this?
Hey, weak sauce. All right, I used to do Uber. All right, good stories, fun stories, crazy stories. But guess what? There's rules to this thing. I don't let nobody sit directly behind me where I cannot see them. First rule. That woman had him in a chokehold like it was the UFC. Why the hell she sitting behind you like that? Hell no. You can sit on the other side. Even if she inebriated, I'm going to make sure I can see what she's doing. Other than that, bruh, tuck your chin. You letting this woman strangle you. She's 55. You a young boy looking like a caveman getting choked out by an old lady. Come on, dog.
That's exactly what was happening. Age over youth, my dude. 55, he a young boy.
I ain't going for it. As soon as she would have woke up and my daughter, I'm pulling over.
You
We're gonna be
remember that
safe.
movie, Baby Boy?
Oh
Scream
hell
for
yeah!
you.
Call for
Scream
your
for your
mama.
mama, boy.
Call for your mama.
Scream for your mama, boy.
He was screaming for somebody. Unacceptable. He
Hey,
must be new to this because he ain't true to this.
nah.
I don't think he was expecting it though, but yeah, like you're right.
I
Now,
wouldn't have been expecting it neither, but
I
like I
wonder
ain't about to let
I
you
wonder
choke me.
if it was something that escalated or she just started choking him out. Just
It
like,
looked like she woke up in a manic, drunken haze and was just like, "What up?
yeah. Who is this?
I don't know you coming. I'm gonna choke you up, boy." Putting both their life in danger as I think about it, but hey, it'd be like
Yeah,
that.
look, he got a pretty good gash on the side too.
It was
but
pretty
like,
bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah, but
now, as far as the way Uber handled it, I've seen, the same thing with Lyft, Uber, Lyft, where, because the kid said he reached out, but nobody reached back out to him. So I don't know if they were waiting to investigate it, but I don't think he's driving for Uber anymore. It seemed like he's out.
why would
Yeah,
you?
he's definitely out. He's out. What? That's money. Surge prices. There's gonna be other people that ain't gonna attack you. Get that money, boy. He just sitting on his butt. I'm getting that money. But they do have to investigate. You feel me? If he would have pulled over, somebody recording it happening, police report, you submit all of that. Hopefully they hit you with some compensation or something like that. But I ain't
Well,
walking away.
well, the thing I think with Uber is, when it comes to their drivers, there's a way that they're listed. I'm not sure if they're actual employees of Uber.
They're
No,
independent contractors.
independent.
Right. So it falls into that type of category where the company doesn't really have to protect them because they're not employees of Uber. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure I got to look that up. I'm not sure how it's written. But I know a couple of years ago they were trying to file a lawsuit to try to get the driver's insurance and different things through the company. But I know they were in court about that. I'm not sure how it ended up. But that could be why they're not getting it, because they don't want to pay out no money for a lawsuit for anything. They don't want to have to pay out. So they're always going to distance themselves. If he got a good lawyer, I'm sure he'll be able to touch something.
Or he could just take the old lady pension. I'm suing you.
Now,
Somebody got
I'm
some
sure
money.
he can. Well, that'll be like a civil case, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
I'm sure he could sue for damages.
Definitely. You see that gash? Give me your money, Grandma.
She almost killed me. Like,
yeah.
You choked me out. I want everything.
Now, did she ever get arrested or anything?
No, I don't think that was all in the clip. That was it.
Because I'm wondering, like, I'll drive her straight to the police station. Unless she was beating.
As she choking you.
Yeah,
he probably just kicked her out and just try to get away. You know what I'm saying?
We in the movies, so she choking me while I'm dipping to the movie theater. Last action hero type shit. And I got one finger here while I'm changing gear. Got my feet on the steering
Just so
wheel.
she don't completely choke you out. Yep.
Yeah, she ain't gonna completely, just a little bit.
Granny, let me go. Let me go.
Just a little bit. And she do look a little heavy set too. So she probably put that weight on him because he look a little small.
He fragile. He fragile.
Very fragile. Very fragile. I'm sure he wake up at night, Mama.
Yeah, he still got night terrors. Anybody behind him? Ooh, trauma. Yeah, that grandma choked me out. I ain't going for it.
He probably wake up and see Nemo going across his screen.
Oh my
God. Yo, so I'm still trying to figure out why Dory got so mad, man. Like, get out. Like, he didn't, like.
She wasn't nice to look at to begin with. You seen her shape. And then you wanna find, little fish tank down there. Come on. That's a nightmare. And I gotta go to the next room and see somebody else. Now I'm worried somebody else gonna pull something stupid like this.
Ruin his day.
Ruin his life. You never know. We
that.
never know what
That's
torta come
You
in.
probably never look at it the same ever again.
Any heavy set woman. Hey, I need another doctor to take this. I can't do it. Never again. Hell no.
Yeah. That is crazy.
Yeah. Well, that though the ones that got me tonight was the toilet one, the weird lady with the son.
Yeah, sick world, sick world.
Yeah, I was listening to that. That's ain't no nothing else you could really say about that. That's just different types of people. Very different types of it. Like the mentality that you have to. Oof. Now, I know we said earlier, me and Brandon said that therapy would help. That right there is a lost cause. Like, there's no therapy for that shit. None.
You've crossed the line you can't uncross with that.
Zero. There's no
Definitely.
going back. Just you remember in 300 when they had the hole and it was kicking MF was in the hole?
Yep.
They need to go down that hole. Like, it ain't coming back. Ain't no coming back. And you know what's crazy? They gonna have some kids that's gonna come out of this. I can guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Chromosomes.
Guarantee.
Yeah.
Uncle brothers.
So in landing, I'm gonna ask some questions and we land, right? So one of the things I wanted to see was just a panel type questions, as it grows. What are more content you're willing to see in the upcoming thing? Do you guys want to see more politics, or are these good? These because what I'm let me tell you my idea, and y'all could chip in. So if you guys got videos that you also want to suggest, you can suggest them too. But do you guys want to get with more current stuff or more stuff that's on social media?
Me personally, I like the mixture. It keeps everything fresh versus just getting stuck in one direction or maybe hitting on something that not everybody gonna be into. I feel like what we're doing, everybody has something that they can chime in on. There's something that they can be like, "Ooh, I like that." The politics, it definitely hits. Nasty fish lady definitely hits. We got a nice variety. It don't have to be just one thing. It's all hitting for this line.
Okay, cool. What do you think, P?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean,
okay.
Like a couple of the stories that we have done already, I think we could probably do some follow-ups because there's some different things coming out. We with the John Lennon stuff that we did earlier, the church stuff, that more information are coming out. He got arrested. So we could always do follow-ups and things like that on stories done before, but I think we definitely headed in the right direction.
Okay. I was telling Brandon about somebody. You remember the video that we watched with the girl where we saying run? She was like she was in love and she a dude said that's how he met his wife. Yeah, that's how he met his wife. So in the comments underneath that, I think I found like 3 unique stories that people respond. And it's like, that's how I met my wife, or that's how I met my girlfriend. And I was like, what? But yeah, and that's a good thing about that video is, yeah, man, people they share their lives, and that was one where, that I got that video pinned where the guy left this story and explained it, and that's be funny, man. It's not funny, but what I'm trying to say, I'm thankful to the community when they post these. They post not like short, they post detailed stuff. People like, dang, that's a nice video recap.
Yeah,
definitely. But what I'll say, I gotta look at the main camera. So we do this Tuesdays and Thursdays. Lime with us, late night lime. If you'd like to join the panel, check the bio. Check the bio up top. You should see my email up there. I even got the link to the WhatsApp group. All you just got to do is just say hi, I'm interested, and we'll reach out to you. The show normally starts Tuesdays and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're interested, hop on, or if you know someone that's interested, let them know, share the link, and we go there. I'm gonna start with you, P. What's your closing thoughts?
Well, it's funny. I had something in my head that I was going to say, but
Go,
it had
go for
nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with nothing that we did tonight. We have done stuff in the past, but I was going to say, like, I was doing some research this week, and I found out that 60% of the ICE agents are Latino.
Yep, I seen that
And
too.
it's even a little higher. It's going up because if this bill passed, we're going to have more agents coming in, and we're looking at a situation where they're using the same people to hunt the people they're looking for. And it's, you can say smart, you know what I'm saying? But it kind of shows you what their agenda is to begin with, you know. And one of the ways they're getting some of these people is because a lot of them understand the accents and they understand the dialogue of these different people from different countries being Hispanic as well. So that is definitely, I mean, when you think about it, it wasn't something I expected. I thought it'd been a whole lot different, but to find out that it's that high and even climbing, it's a little eye opening for me. I'm paying attention. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Because what's the word?
Conflicted?
No, I'm not. I can't sit here and say that even these ICE agents are actually citizens. Like when you hear, not to sound weird or be racist or anything, but when you hear them talk, it sounds like they literally just came over the border. It sounds like half of them can't even speak English. You know what I'm saying? And I always think of a federal agent of somebody that look like Uncle Sam. You know what I'm saying? Now I know it's irrelevant and all that. Reality is reality. But I just, for some reason in my head, I was like, well, but I remember there was a time when it was a song that was talking about Latinos for Trump and this and that. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's kind of what huh?
You know, I got questions.
Go ahead.
So I was going to say, when you started talking, it reminds me of slavery, right? And I'm not going to go there. That's not where my point is going. But how do you think they got the people here? It was their own kind that got them here. They had to participate in order for these people to be on the transatlantic coming to America in large amounts. Trust me, because now, you know what I'm saying? And I struggle with that for a bit.
I always tell people the first slaves were POWs of the former tribe. So we got you, we shipping you out. You know what I'm saying? And they got shipped out. That's why places like Haiti got all these soldiers in it. You know what I'm saying? They was able to overrun those places because these were original leaders of other places that got exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
but what I was going to that was to go into a community. What's the percentage? And we're going to break it down. What's the percentage of Black people that speak Spanish?
Well, we talking about.
Well, it's a report. Well, let me finish it then.
In general, because you got to
in general. So I'm not saying. So let me clarify this. It's like this. A lot of people think Black people don't speak Spanish. There's a lot of Black people that speak Spanish, right? But I'm just saying, in ratio, right? You would want to go for Spanish-speaking people because, hey, and I think that number is put there because most of the people came from Central America, which is Spanish-speaking country. So if you're trying to get people out the country, you don't want to run into the issue of non-compliance, because it's the same thing when I think we were talking about it, P, or this was a different show. When you go to a different country or like Dominican Republic, when you get pulled over, they have to get a translator of speak English present. So I was watching a video like that where they were explaining if somebody get arrested, they treat them I'm not saying they treat them like gold, but they get someone of English speaking to come and translate and make sure everything go good, because it's a tourist country. So you don't want your tourism to go down because of bad policing. So in that same retrospect is the same thing you would want. You don't want to be pulling over people and you'll be like, hands up, and no comprende. You know what I'm saying? And it's a language barrier. So it's like you would want strong representation of, and I'm not putting my Spanish people down, a strong representation of the population you're trying to get out. And if that is from mainly Central America, because trust me, I know when they're moving in on the Asian community, they gotta have Asian speaking people. When they moving in on the Africans, they gotta have Africans. You get what I'm saying? So with the intel always would show, is like, that's why when these people were at war and they're going over there, them people came back from other countries. Like, we got family in the military. Them dudes know how to speak other language. You just can't go there and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just, you know what I'm saying? No, you got to be able to. Oh yeah. So I do agree that it makes sense that you have a strong representation of people that are diverse to help in getting what you're looking for, because if not, it's going to be a definitely crap show. It's definitely going to be.
Yeah, but when you look at the numbers that actually came through, the Hispanic and black people were some of the lowest numbers compared to the China, the Asians.
No, Asia was high. They were high up on there.
Exactly. Asian. So how come we ain't seen a bunch of Asian?
No, they ran up in Chinatown. They ran up in Chinatown.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Asians. Yeah, they're gonna run up in there, but they ain't gonna catch nobody.
They getting deported. Trust me. Trust me. They're doing it, but it's so it's a touchy situation, right? How did, and no shade, we talking real, we get into the real talk, is how did the Asian American get an Asian hate crime bill before minorities?
Yeah.
They got a whole bill passed.
Wait. I know, but when the hate crime thing got signed was when George Bush signed it.
No, that one was later. I think it was Biden or whatever.
George Bush.
No, we're talking about the Asian one. The Asian one happened under Biden.
Right. But I'm talking about George Bush. When that black man got dragged by the pickup truck in Texas. This was Bush was a president. And after that, he made it a hate crime was federal offense or felony, I guess. And this happened when Bush was in office. I think he was just, because remember he was a governor of
yeah.
And he had became president. He made that. Now I'm not sure if he wrote it in because of but it was a black guy, I think, that got dragged by the pickup truck, and that's how the hate crime thing came into effect.
Yep,
if I can remember right.
Because I know the one for the Asian one. Let me see. In 2020 and 2021, there were 1,087 anti-Asian hate crime reported by the FBI. So I know that bill. I'm trying to find when it got passed.
That was
so yeah, it would seem like they passed it in during the pandemic. So that was, who was the president back then? Trump? Yeah, Trump was the first. Yeah, 2000. That was Trump era.
Okay. Because unfortunately, them people was getting stomped out everywhere.
Oh, that makes sense though. That makes sense. That's why the bill passed.
What's that?
Because it was the pandemic, and you remember they were blaming
Asians
he was
for
blaming
COVID.
China, and everybody started looking at them. And most people of old, like our age, remember 9/11 when they were blaming, people from what you call it, from over there, like the Arabs and all of them. So they remember that trauma, and they was like, all right, we don't want the same thing to happen, because boy, they weren't letting them people on planes.
It was bad.
People were complaining back in 2001. Like, nah, get off the plane. Get off the plane. They were playing. People were bold, man. That was a time where you were able to speak freely too. You know what I'm saying? It was like when them planes went down and them towers went down and all of that. Yeah, people is like, nope. They got one of them on the plane. We ain't playing with that. Up off here, man. And that was the culture. It was no hate crime bill. It was none of that. You know what I'm saying? It was freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the world was tense at that time, boy. But yeah, man, I could see how they got that bill passed through. The timing was right. It was perfect timing, I would say. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely see the uptick in. I don't understand why people were attacking them though. For the life of me,
just that fear mongering. That fear mongering. Yeah. You looking for somebody to blame for your problems, and that was the face of it right there. I ain't saying it's right, because they was doing the people dirty.
Yeah, but I was
especially in New York. Good Lord.
Oh, Biden passed it in 2001. So Biden passed that was why they call it a COVID-19 hate crime bill.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, somebody called it the so-and-so, remember what he called it?
Yeah.
So that kind of intensified it a little bit.
That's the weird name to tie it to. And you see, that made sense. Before even reading it, I was, because it said it was combat the rise of anti-Asian hate crime violence, that bypassing legislation. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
I remember that.
So it makes sense. The two tied together. So because of the outbreak and everything, but but you see, they came and got rights before minority blacks. That's what black people were fighting for years, and they still ain't got it.
Always gonna be the bottom of the totem pole unless we change something ourselves.
But that's the whole thing now. It's like, who's the bottom of the totem pole? I think that's why that's why they're trying to pass these bills in Congress. And they so the question would be, guys, you think they're gonna shut down the government?
No.
I don't think so.
Because the last time they were doing it for SNAP, and they did it for,
it was for the longest period of time for a shutdown.
And they gave in at the end. So because it was nothing to be gained.
No.
They did it for the midterms. After the midterms, they gave up. That's how got Mandani and all of them got in, because of that. They use it for their leverage to drum up the eyeball so people could go out and vote. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's going to swing back bad for them, because I think the way how the Democrats running it, to be honest, they gonna let an ex-Republican become president. The way how they going about it, they gonna let an Republican become president.
I mean, there is no true Democrat that's rising up where it's gonna be like, oh yeah, this is somebody that's gonna be a force to reckon with. So it is what it is. It's all about who the people build up.
Yeah,
nobody's getting built up right now.
Like I said,
it's none. They too far, yo. They too far.
We need a third. Like I said, we need a third party.
Not the
Brandon for president.
Not the vote stealers.
Brandon for president.
You ain't gonna blame me for somebody losing. Hell no.
No, we blame everything on the cabinet. You got immunity, dude.
Immunity? Hell
You
no.
got
Somebody gonna be
immunity.
like, man, there's 1,000 votes that went to him that could have went to somebody else. Don't blame me.
Well, think about the people that don't vote at all.
You're right. You're right.
Just think about how much people in this country and the people that actually show out to vote.
The difference it could make.
Like
Truly.
a huge difference.
Yeah,
huge difference. But that's another thing. Ended this show is y'all need to get out in y'all district and vote. If y'all want to make some true changes to what's going on in y'all life, y'all community, when it comes to y'all pockets, y'all taxes, go vote for mayor. Go vote for this district leader. Go vote for. That's who makes the real changes. The guy at the top is just there to run to sign laws and stuff like that, but he ain't the one that affecting your house, the heating bill at your house, your electric bill. And if you like, I got solar now, so. But even that, they affect that too.
Yeah. Definitely.
And don't be blind to who you vote for. Do your research.
Yeah.
If it's somebody who's saying the things that are going to align with what you want, vote for that person. It don't matter about party.
Yeah. I told my daughter that when we went to the poll. I remember that day. That was the first time her voting, and I was like, "Yo, I know who I'm going to be voting for." I said, but when I brought her, I said, "I'm not a woman," so it got Hillary Clinton on the ballot. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't sway her. I was like, I didn't tell her who I was voting for, but I was like, look, it's good to see a woman on the ballot, and I leave it up to you. You make your choice. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you're voting for the best person that's always going to do for you, not for me, not for your mom, not for you. And I want you to understand that this is a life lesson. You know what I'm saying? Vote for the person that's going to represent you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I left it. I was like, you think you made a right choice? And she went in the ballot, did her thing. And I'm like, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell her the whole vote Democrat straight down. No.
When you get older, it's more like vote for the shit that you're gonna take maybe 40% of what you believe in. I take 40%. You can get 40% out of that side, we go with that side. But we know we ain't getting 100%.
Nah, you're not. You know
what I'm saying? And so that's the soul plane. We're gonna land that plane, right?
All right, guys. Thursday, 9 p.m. We're gonna be here. All right, peace.
Peace, y'all.
See you.